Hey, can things get any worse for Xbox? Apparently they can. We're going to be diving into the apparently imploding behind the scenes Xbox. So be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. It's always cool to become a channel member. I heard there's a Patreon option, a Discord for stream alerts, and the lots of chatter that we do about this stuff, and an Amazon Starfield link if you're into that. So anyways, yesterday we had the latest addition to the Death of Xbox arc, and today we are doing another one because somehow the news got worse today in regards to the information and stuff behind the scenes that are going on at Xbox, which is just fun. It's always fun, guys. I'm kind of tired of this. It's like I think 2024, instead of being like a good year for Xbox and its games, it's just not gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a dreary year, it seems like. But anyways, tomorrow, as long as there's not any more apocalyptic news that comes out, we're doing some Halo, and it's gonna not be a Death of Xbox day, but tonight is another Death of Xbox night, and we're gonna be going over the details. There's actually, it's so dense, the amount of terrible things that, kind of leaked out or been noted in the last 24 hours that I had to actually take notes, and I had to take a picture of it on my phone, so I have notes to go over today. Yeah, it's worse than them just closing the studios. I mean, we should probably start with that recap, but we sort of, I want to say we talked about that last night, so there's not really, a point to dive into that, but I mean, we'll probably just, lightly dip the toes in and talk about yesterday's thing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think PlayStation, they're struggling too, but, Xbox is just, I don't know how, can we go, a week without there being something catastrophic about it? I was just hoping for, one day of the chaos, and then we'd be able to go back to, our normal kind of doom and gloom, but, yeah, I gotta say, it was pretty surprising hearing all the stuff today that came out, and we'll dive into that in a sec here. Yeah, as I just kind of get settled here. I got some new armrests for my SecretLab chair. You know, the creeper chair? Yeah, they sent me the foam. I got the foam armrests. They're really nice. I could rip it off and show you, I guess, but I don't know how well that would show up on the thing anyways. They're just cushiony things. Switching to Xbox. Or switching to PlayStation. Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. The console business, I think, is just, I think it's kind of toast. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. I really don't. It's just, it gets worse and worse and worse. Okay, so let's focus up and let's talk about yesterday. So just a quick recap in case people are just watching this, and because news is something that breaks each day, right? News is a fresh thing. It goes on and on and on, and there's always new news. In gaming, there's honestly more news than there should be news. I don't remember it being like this when I was growing up. So, yeah, so yesterday, Microsoft, Xbox, they announced the closure of 4 studios. We talked about that really in depth on yesterday's stream. They closed Arkane Auston, who did Redfall and Prey, which they honestly probably should have closed at the launch of the game, but they closed them right before they were going to do an update where the game could be offline, which would have launched this month, and then the full content would have come out for Halloween, like a Halloween tie-in, which kind of a long development cycle to get any sort of stuff out the door, which I think is kind of a bit strange. And then so they were shuttered, and well, some of the staff will be retained but moved into another office. And then Roundhouse Games, or Roundhouse Studios, they did supporting work. They got moved and merged into the Elder Scrolls Online. They used to be known as Human Head. Then there was Alpha Dog Games. They did Mighty Doom. They were a mobile developer. Some closures, some devs moved into other places, and then of course the big loss was Tango Gamesworks. So Tango was the Japanese studio for Xbox. They were just shuttered. And we have more context on that today, actually. We have new information on that sort of thing, right? That was a weird sound. I've got a mango pineapple mix here, so apologies for that. So the news on that gets a little worse. So apparently, I gotta pull up my notes on this because we literally have to have notes for a stream now because there's just so much crap. So, so for that element of it, apparently, what happened was Tango Gamesworks, and Arkane Auston, they wanted to hire more staff so that they could work on new projects. They wanted to make Hi-Fi Rush 2, and Arkane Auston wanted to make a... What was the quote on this one? Sorry, one sec here. We gotta find the actual quote on this. So they wanted to make... They had pitched a new single-player immersive sim game, such as a new Dishonored. And apparently they were not closed because Redfall flopped. So these devs, they went to Microsoft, and they're like, hey, we want to make new games. We want to do Hi-Fi Rush 2. They were also allegedly working on another game. There's supposed to be like an RPG they were working on. I don't know if Ghostwire Tokyo 2 is being worked on. There's court documents that leaked back in the last summer there that Tango was apparently working on Ghostwire Tokyo 2. But yeah, in addition to that, there was an RPG they were, like a JRPG they were making. And yeah, I guess what happened is they went to pitch to Microsoft to make a Hi-Fi Rush 2, saying, hey, we need to hire more people to do this. And then Arkane Auston was like, hey, we want to go back to doing a single-player stuff. We want to make, you know, maybe a new Dishonored. And then Xbox was like, well, you know, instead of hiring more employees, we're just going to shutter you. And I thought the whole point of the Xbox acquisitions was for them to use Game Pass and stuff to support developing these kinds of games, like a Hi-Fi Rush 2. You know, their critically acclaimed, well-loved game that apparently exceeded metrics and stuff. Or so Xbox says. You know, a year ago when it launched and stuff. And, yeah, so instead of being rewarded with working on a sequel to a successful game, they were just closed because they were asking for more staff. Which is mind-blowing to me, that that is a thing. Is it better if you can start at level 20 for Fallout 76? I would do. Right? That thumbnail goes so hard. I think I just nailed this thumbnail today. Yeah. So that's what's happening with, well, yesterday's news. We haven't even gotten to today's news. Well, part of it was today's news. But the main core of it was yesterday's news. So today we have a lot of news from a few different sources. Mostly The Verge and Bloomberg are where most of the sources are for this stuff. Because I wanted to give like a little bit of sourcing context if you want to go and read about these articles and everything like that about what's happening. And so, you know, pretty trusted stuff and sources, and yeah, it all kind of just leaked out, and then there was more stuff leaking. Because I guess Xbox, they held a round table, like they did a town hall. So whenever their company does something really, really bad, or something really, really bad happens in the news, like Xbox, they'll do like a town hall. They'll be like, hey guys, everything's cool. It's not the end of the world. But there was like a lot of stuff they were saying at the town hall that apparently really worries developers. I guess more cuts are coming. Xbox Game Studios developers will be targeted next, apparently. So those are people that work, like, you know, like 343. Well, not necessarily 343, but, you know, I'm trying to give an example here. 343 is part of the Xbox Game Studios branch, you know. And then people at ZeniMax, which, you know, is Bethesda and everything like that. A number of employees were, like, given options to, like, voluntarily quit or voluntarily be laid off, and they'd get better severance packages and stuff, and I guess there's more cuts coming to Bethesda Studios. So, yeah. I don't really understand why Xbox acquired all these studios if they weren't intending to be able to take care of them. Apparently, there's also some bandwidth issues there. So, Matt Booty there, the guy who couldn't even handle running 5 Xbox studios, now has to run a whole swath of Xbox studios, was saying they were spread too thin, like peanut butter on toast or on a sandwich. I guess this was part of their internal meeting. He's like, we were spread too thin, it's too hard to manage so many studios across the globe, so we're consolidating studios so that we can manage these studios better. And I was like, I thought the whole point of buying Tango and buying Bethesda and stuff and having Tango was that you could have a foothold in Japan, and now you've pissed off very likely any developer or any studio that would have worked with you in Japan. Which is complete and utter stupidity. But again, I don't think Microsoft understands the gaming industry. Like, they make and release games, but they don't really understand like, they don't get that it's a creative arts industry. They just don't seem to understand that. I've observed them for decades now, and they just, either the people there that are running things don't understand it, or it's just like a cultural thing at Microsoft where they don't understand video games and the people that make them. It's really weird, honestly. It's just absolutely bizarre. Because I do not understand the choices they keep making. It's mind-blowingly stupid, some of the stuff going on. Oh, and there's a lot more to talk about, guys. Like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, there's a lot of news today. A lot of news. Should have invested more in Master Chief's Rear End, right? Yeah, no, seriously, it is. And I know a lot of people just will not, like, they get mad at me, they hate me for it, they will not seem to understand it. Like, these are not the signs of a healthy product or a healthy brand or a healthy company. It's like you literally are watching slowly and steadily in real time the Xbox like platform dying. Because I said for a long time, it's like Xbox hardware is like dying, and it is. Nobody's buying it. I know like a lot of us have Xbox hardware. I play a lot of it. I'm sure a lot of you play a lot of it, but like it's dying. People do not want it. They're not buying it. You know, this quarter's down from last quarter. That quarter was down from the other quarter. This year is lower than the lower year. It's doing worse and worse and worse in comparison to the Xbox One. They're going to do a Hail Mary in 2026, probably why they're trying to get rid of all these cuts and everything ahead of that, so that they can have better news coming towards the 2026 console launch. But it's like, it's grim. And mainly the point I was trying to make is that, like, you know, I said for a while, Xbox will always be there, but they'll be like, you know, software making games and stuff like that. But I never anticipated that they would be closing studios and making further cuts, because they just cut, I think it was 1,900 people from Activision, which is part of a merger. It is. It is part of any merger, that you're going to have overlaps in personnel, you don't need to keep everyone. It makes complete sense. But studio closures, especially when you're trying to produce really any games, because Xbox just is incapable of releasing video games. The one job as a video game publisher, manufacturer that you're supposed to be able to do, even more important than the hardware, some would say, is the software, the games. You go watch the earlier Xbox E3s, and they sit there like Xbox, what is it, E3 2004, 5, 6, or 3, 4, or 5, I think, and they sit there and they're like, the most important part of Xbox is software, software, software. I know a lot of you care about hardware, but it's really about the software. Seriously, but anyways, it's just like complete stupidity on like every front here. It's blowing my mind. Like, it's not looking good. Things aren't improving. I think the whole gaming industry is headed for some kind of like scary AAA collapse, but I never ever expected them to close studios. I thought they might, like, trim the fat, as to say. I thought Arkane Auston should have been. I do very much stick to that. I think Arkane Auston should have been closed as soon as Redfall came out, because that game was, you know, they had an extra year delay, and that game was an embarrassment. There's no fixing it. I mean, they're so slow on development of that game. They should have been shuttered. Seriously, like, there's... Damn it. There's no reason they should have been kept going this long. And yes, there's so much more to talk about. Like I said, I've got a literal picture of notes that I had to take for this stream so that I had all the information today. Usually I just remember everything. I have actual notes. Way too many notes. But before that, a break for me to tell you to like the stream. Subscribing's great, donations cool, consider becoming channel member. Channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, the Amazon Starfield link, if you're into that. And GamerHeadquarters.com, I write stuff on my site sometimes. You know, it doesn't hurt to support the channel in these dire market conditions. So as I mentioned, Xbox is not done with cutbacks, voluntary buyout offers to some ZeniMax staff. So you're going to see Xbox Game Studios start losing staff. There are big worries for Ninja Theory. Xbox is considering porting Hellblade 2 to PlayStation 5, but they have zero confidence it'll sell, and Xbox is not doing a very effective job of marketing it. And that was, I think, a little highlighted today, because we had Aaron Greenberg there. So there was a lot of negative tweets towards Xbox today. But Aaron Greenberg, he handles the marketing and stuff for Xbox. And it is crazy, because he's been handling it since the Xbox One basically came out, around there. He's not good at his job, I'm sorry. It's just that is a lot of Xbox, the people running the show, like Phil Spencer and stuff, they are a prime showcase of failing upwards. And they should all be resigning or fired, honestly. They need to clean house there at Xbox. Microsoft needs to step in and clean house. That's what needs to happen. But, like, yeah, Aaron Greenberg there, he had to put out a tweet today because everyone was complaining so much today about the lack of marketing for Hellblade because they're worried that Ninja Theory is going to get closed. And he's like, our campaign just started right now about this stuff and everything. But the funny thing was, like, 5 days ago, he put out this tweet where he's like, I had a great review with the team leading our big global and regional marketing for Hellblade. And he was like, bop, 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 and all this stuff. And then there was some memes going on today about how he's not marketing or how Xbox isn't marketing the game. And then he had to reply being like, our stuff is going right now. It's being pushed out. But my big thing there, and as I noted this like 5 days ago too, it's so bad at Xbox that their marketing lead... Is it just me, or is this taking a long time to load? I think it's hanging. I don't know if it's loading, but I'll restart her. That's really weird that it's taking that long. Never had that before. So anyways, it's really weird. Like, in a regular situation, like, you don't see PlayStation executives tweeting, oh, we've got our marketing push out for Stellar Blade. It's just, you see the marketing. You know, you see the ads, you see the billboards, you see the trailers, you see the showcases. It's everywhere. You know Stellar Blade is coming out on PlayStation 5. Hellblade? We've got, like, what, 5-10 minutes of footage of the game in action. That's not really the game in action, just kind of cinematic stuff. Like, a lot of people, I'm assuming regular people that don't, like, religiously follow video games aren't watching channels like this all the time. They literally have no idea that Hellblade's coming out. And, like, literally the future of Ninja Theory, the beloved studio, rests on Xbox being able to market and get this game out the door. What the hell is going on here? And it's just, like, it's kind of crazy to me that, like, Ninja Theory's game isn't being showcased. And you can't just start the marketing and awareness campaign for, like, for a game, like, a week or two before it comes out. You need to get the word out there so people know of this game and they get excited about it and they look for it and they download it on Game Pass. And I guess if you guys have Xbox Game Pass, you know, you should try to support Hellblade 2 and, you know, pre-install it on the Game Pass. I'm trying to show you how to do that, but I can't even... There we go. Just so that Ninja Theory doesn't get killed by Xbox, please. They're a great studio, so yeah, I'm really hoping Xbox doesn't kill them. How am I doing today, Sherry? I'm just tired. I'm, I'm just so tired of all this Xbox stuff. I want to wake up and there's like positive news about the Xbox or something. You know what I mean? You ever sit there and you're just like, man, one day I want to get up and it's like not hear about Xbox imploding upon itself and dying. I was kind of expecting that. I was like, okay, well that was as bad as news as we're getting yesterday, and then today, I think today was even worse. All the, like, as I said, we're not even done the list of stuff. It's that dense, the amount of problems and that have like leaked out today. And it's a nightmare. Like a few months ago when they were moving over their exclusives, that was worrying. And at this point, it's like full on panic mode. You should be, if you have an Xbox, you should be panicking, like literally panicking. The people that are running Xbox, like Phil Spencer and his crew, they're flailing around like the wacky inflatable arm man. They're doing sporadic decisions that are going back and forth. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to run a company, and they showed that for 10 years. But they keep getting like, you know, I guess technically Phil Spencer keeps getting promoted, but, you know, he's already at the top, so they keep making new positions for it. It's really weird. I don't understand it. It's blowing my mind. But I hope you're doing well, Sherry, and I hope everyone else is too, aside from all this stuff. No, people get pissed at me about about this stuff and everything when I'm talking about this. Yeah, Hellblade comes out in 2 weeks. Come on! Pre-install Hellblade, guys, as part of your Game Pass, or buy it if you're on like Steam or something. If you're on PlayStation, I guess you could wait 3 months or something like that. It's just like, oh man, it's a worry. Like, it's really people should not be getting mad at me just trying to give you information and stuff. You got to look at it and be like, oh my god, this is a freaking nightmare. It's looking bad. Yeah. I don't know, I just kind of was expecting to wake up and have a chill time. Tomorrow I'm having a chill time. I get a free Starbucks drink tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having fun. I'm getting my Starbucks, maybe going for a walk, maybe I'll go out and do some chilling, and then we're doing Halo MCC tomorrow. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be relaxed. Because I can't imagine things will get worse for Xbox. But then again, I went to bed thinking, okay, well at least that's the worst of it for this week. And then today I was just like literally, I spent a good chunk of my day reading through articles and like messaging my pals in industry about how much of a clusterfuck it is for Xbox, and like they're a joke right now. Like honestly, Xbox in the gaming creators, the gaming media, they're a joke. Like Microsoft and Xbox is a big joke that we're all having a laugh at. I mean, a lot of people are mad too, obviously, for the studio closures and the job losses that are happening, but you know, they're more of the butt of the joke than usual, and it's not good branding. Man, this map, I get killed way too much on. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like you say, oh, it's proof that like Microsoft's taken over. I think Microsoft should have stepped in sooner and got all new people. Like they should have just purged the upper management of Xbox. Seriously, like I get. See, it's a little harder because like Phil Spencer and his pals, they're what you consider like legacy people at Microsoft. So if you're with Microsoft from like the 90s till now or the early 2000s till now, you have like a tenure at that company. It sounds weird, but like Microsoft, they have like a lot of legacy type stuff. If you stick with them for a while, they just, you can do all kinds of, like, you can fail a lot and still be okay, like Phil Spencer does. And like Bonnie Ross did for like 10 years. But, yeah, it's I know it sounds terrible, and a lot of people are trying to deflect, Phil Spencer's constant failings for over a decade, on like, Microsoft stepping in, but maybe it's about time that Microsoft's stepping in. Maybe they'll clean house, maybe they'll try to correct things. I mean, we don't have full insights into what's going on behind the scenes. We get the leaks to the reporters, and we report on that, we talk about it, but, like, I look at it, and I'm kind of like, Maybe they do need to step in and actually firmly kind of clean things up and get things well set. I don't know. You know, you can look at it as evil or you can look at it as positive. It really depends on your perspective on it, right? The console wars? The console wars are always entertaining. Some people take it too far and too seriously. I don't know if Xbox was ever really... During the 360 era, they were like a bit of a competitor, but that time's long past. PlayStation's kind of struggling, but at least they're putting out games this year, finally. And the Nintendo, they're just swimming by, living their best life. Very excited about the next Nintendo console, by the way. Very, very excited. And as soon as I die, I guess, we'll get back into our next set of notes. Because like I said, we're not done yet. There's, like, I think I'm halfway through all the notes I took today. Like, Xbox is in a bad state. Worse than usual. Which is saying something. Okay, what's the next point on our list? We talked about the big worries for Ninja Theory. Okay, so Xbox is currently debating whether or not they are going to put Call of Duty on Game Pass. So the big part of them buying Activision Blizzard, a big part that was pushed during the court case to show that they were consumer-friendly in buying Activision Blizzard, was adding Call of Duty to Game Pass. And now they're debating whether they're going to be doing it at all. So they don't even know. That's why it's taking so long for Call of Duty to come to Game Pass. It's because they're not even sure if they want to do it. Which is like, are you kidding me? Like, that was the whole weight, the whole point of even still supporting them and pushing for Xbox. Is them dropping Call of Duty on Game Pass. And they're not even sure if they want to do it, because they don't want to damage the sales and the value of Call of Duty. That's why they're thinking of not putting it on Game Pass. And I was like, well, is that just new CODs? Is that old CODs? It was like, what was the point of this acquisition? They're just running around like wacky inflatable armbands being like, woo! They don't know what they're doing. They're not evolving. They are imploding upon themselves. They are an absolute mess. Absolute mess. And, yeah, that's not evolving, that's dying. Even, like, again, you can get rid of your console and still do, like, be a third-party publisher, but if they're closing studios, what's the point? So we talked about Redfall, but we'll talk about Redfall a little bit more. So, again, like, it's just, it's such a piss-off, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Call of Duty to go on Game Pass, and that might not even happen now. Literally, like, they might not even throw Call of Duty on Game Pass, which was the big thing from this acquisition. The sole kind of excitement point, really, for this acquisition was the benefit of the consumer of having Call of Duty on Game Pass. A lot of people have been anticipating this and looking forward to it, being excited about it. So what's the point here, right? So for Redfall, we talked about the developers being closed. But what's really fascinating is that literally hours before the closure of their studio was announced, they were actively working on the DLC. So developers were like literally working on updating the game and were closed. Game Pass subs are in decline, console sales are dire, and game launches are getting more and more delayed. So, as we've talked about a few times, Xbox Game Pass subscription numbers are actually declining. They prop them up by merging Xbox Live members into Xbox Game Pass Core members, which actually, when they kind of evened out the numbers by the end of it, there was actually a decline of like millions of subscribers. So Game Pass is not growing, it's shrinking. Subscriptions for gaming across the industry is shrinking. I think we're seeing that across multiple industries, though. People are a little tighter for cash right now, recessionary times, right? That's why in the U.S. They're going back to cable because they're bundling. What is it? HBO Max and Disney Plus is being bundled starting this summer if you're in the U.S. So basically, it's going to be streaming cable, which is hilariously depressing. And yeah, so Game Pass isn't growing. They bet on this thing, bought all these studios based on it to fuel it. They never released. That's the thing too. Is Xbox? They had this vision of stuff they were gonna do, and they never executed on it. You know, we never got the games that they were supposed to deliver. But we never really got the ecosystem that they were supposed to deliver, and it's just delays after delays after delays. Speaking of delays, Grubb there, Jeff Grubb, was leaking information. I think this happened literally after the stream ended. Apparently Perfect Dark is an absolute mess. So the Initiative is working on Perfect Dark. The Initiative was like a dream team of like super high tier devs that came together to work on unique projects and stuff like that. And then I guess Xbox kind of like went back on that and tried to get them to work on something, and then I guess like half the talent left, and then now they're a publishing wing of Xbox, and they're working with Crystal on Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark's being rebooted. So I had information that Perfect Dark was supposed to be coming like a year after the next Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider is supposed to be coming this year. Or at least announced this year, the next Tomb Raider game. And the big situation there, I guess, is that Perfect Dark, they don't even know if it's going to be a first-person game or not. And that's a pretty... See, the weird thing is like a few years ago during COVID, there was a picture being like, the guy that was at the Initiative was, I think he was playing with his daughter, he showed a picture, he's like, oh, Perfect Dark's playable now. But... like, apparently right now, the discussion behind the scenes is they don't even know if it's going to be a first-person game. And if you know a little bit about game development and stuff like that, you know, that's like a pretty basic thing of knowledge, foundation of how you're developing your game, is how it's going to play. Like, first-person, third-person, like, they're not even... Wow, I'm really getting smoked here. They don't even know what they're targeting for development. So apparently, it's a complete mess behind the scenes. They have no direction for the game. And it could possibly be years out from when we actually get to see that game. Or with them talking about studio closures, the Perfect Dark project might actually be cancelled. So, yay. That's fun. Kill off COD, that would be so impossible. Stingy about COD on Game Pass? Because they don't know if they want to do it, because they think it might devalue Call of Duty, and they're worried about devaluing it, I guess. The whole point of a subscription service was supposed to be really good value on a continued basis. And obviously that just hasn't happened, it isn't going to. Man, these guys are really smoking me here. Usually I do a lot better with the MP5, I'm not too happy. That guy's 11-2? Jesus. Well, he's level 1000, I guess, at max prestige, but still. Are you kidding me? Man, we are getting well, I'm getting thrashed here, which I don't like. Like, Game Pass is really, really good, I think, still, but I do believe the value of Game Pass has declined. It's just not that competitive of a product. I mean, you look at PlayStation Plus, it's grown considerably. There we go. That's some kills, guys. So yeah, apparently Perfect Dark is a mess. They don't know where they're going with it. They don't know what they're doing with it. Call of Duty might not even be on Game Pass. Which is kind of, again, to me the biggest piss off, because we've been like just anticipating that for years now. Literally the whole excitement around Activision Blizzard acquisition was getting caught on Game Pass. The other stuff, there's sweeteners. You know, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Diablo and stuff like that. Those are sweetener Game Pass deals. But like, the main excitement, freaking hell, dude, was getting that on Game Pass. I'm actually really struggling this match. Yeah, no, they want the $70 sales. I think on the flip side of that, though, Call of Duty should drive subscriptions for Game Pass, should it not? And there's not really that many people that own an Xbox even, so I don't know what they're really worried about missing out on. It's not like, I don't know, I think it's pretty over for Xbox hardware. It's about done. I cannot at this point see it recovering. Fuck's sake. I mean, I would love it to, because, you know, obviously I cover a lot of that, but like, I cannot see it recovering at this point. And especially with leadership that they have right now, that don't know what they're doing, what they're focusing on, they don't know their direction, they can't make decisions, the decisions they make are terrible. I can't see hardware being successful from Xbox going forward. It's just going to become more and more niche, and that's terrifying because, you know, eventually it'll just disappear. And I also don't buy all this stuff that some people are painting a picture of them just providing all of these PC markets and stuff either to kind of elevate it. I can't see that really working. Because it didn't work when they did the Steam. What were those called? The Steam boxes? Yeah, the Steam boxes. That didn't work either. If COD isn't on Game Pass. Yeah, I think that's just going to be... They're probably sitting there debating, literally now debating whether or not they're going to put COD on the Game Pass. Because I'm sure immediately, as soon as they announce that it isn't going on Game Pass, they'll see a lot of subscription cancellations. Because I literally, like, it's hard to see the value of that service without Call of Duty, since they've, like, basically promised it for so long. Yeah. So, you know, you say most people play COD for Warzone these days, and yes, there's a lot of free-to-play Warzone players out there, but I think you are severely underestimating the billions of dollars that people spend buying Call of Duty. And yes, there's lots of Warzone players. There might even be probably more Warzone players than premium players, but those premium players are making Activision a couple $1 billion every year on just the sale of the game. Not to mention the sale of the characters, the skins, the in-game items, the battle passes. Billions. So don't underestimate or devalue the premium cost of Call of Duty each year. Keep in mind Vanguard. A lot of you guys hate Vanguard. That sold 30 million copies. 30 million. 49 is very cool. Yes, it is. So anyways, what steps should you take before you cancel your Game Pass? I mean, you don't get access to those games. After you cancel your Game Pass, you lose access to them. So, we talked about the game studios, Xbox Game Studios developers being worried about their... Oh no, we didn't talk about that part. So we talked about Bethesda, ZeniMax, Xbox Game Studio developers being offered money to quit voluntarily. Or, be laid off voluntarily. But there is worries that intense layoffs and cutbacks will happen within Xbox Game Studios specifically. Bethesda is being told to double down on the best Bethesda franchises that are best positioned for success. So no more experimentation, only the biggest franchises from Bethesda will get support. We talked about Matt Booty complaining that the studios are spread too thin. So like peanut butter on bread, and that leaders across the division felt understaffed. So the whole point of the closures yesterday was they felt like there was too much for them to handle and deal with. So we got another note. Where's the one with what's her name? Sorry, we got this lady that... Oh, it's the ZeniMax head, Jill Braff, noted during their Townhall, the Xbox Townhall today, that leaked the audio from it allegedly. They were about to topple over due to studio spread. So she manages just Bethesda. She's like Bethesda Game Studios, previously Tango Gamesworks, blah, blah, blah. So I think there's several studios. Not a whole lot, but like, you know, several studios under the Bethesda banner, right? And I guess they were spread so thin, her in combination with Matt Booty and stuff, that they were just gonna topple over because they couldn't manage these studios. Like, that's... And instead of, like, hiring additional people to help them manage these studios, they decided to just close them. Or, like, meld them in with each other. Although, again, I don't see how closing those 4 studios is going to help management at all. So, yeah, again, big shocker, Matt Booty there that couldn't handle and get 5 studios working. Can't handle like a dozen in a bit. So I don't get that. Why not just hire more regional staff to manage things? You know, it can't be that expensive to have someone that literally sits there and, like, keeps an eye on a few studios. And the other thing, too, if they're toppling over in managing these studios, and these studios are not delivering on any real metric, like, you know, the Bethesda's Fallout 4 update, you know, got delayed 2 years and came out broken on Xbox. Still no note on if they're fixing it. It's broken on Xbox. Yeah, broken, which is ridiculous. And then Starfield, you know, I guess they can do 60 FPS, but it takes an extra year. And you know all the crashes and the bugs of Starfield. And it's just like, developer-wise, it literally does not make sense that they're not able to handle these studios. And if they couldn't handle these studios, why were they buying them all? That's my big question. Like, why were they buying all of these studios if they knew they couldn't handle them? And again, to me, that just speaks about really poor management. Hire more people if you need more people to manage things. Because it's like, you know, on one hand, like to the community, it looks like you're broken, or you're going broke. Because, you know, you're firing so many people or laying off so many people. 1,900 at the beginning of the year, and now, we don't even know the studio count numbers, probably hundreds. And then they need to, you know, lay off more people. But then apparently they're not laying off people due to costs, but due to poor management. It's just, it's so perplexing. But you know what isn't perplexing, guys? Liking the stream. Yeah, that's a friendly guy. Be sure to like the stream. Subscribing's great. Donations cool. Consider becoming a channel member. Channel member gifting and the Patreon option. There's also Discord for stream alerts and an Amazon store affiliate link if you're into that. I'm just tired of Xbox. I'm so tired of it. Yeah. Here's the other thing too. Like, even if Xbox had not bought Bethesda, Bethesda would have been falling apart at this point, and they literally would have been closing these studios themselves or selling off pieces of themselves. Which shows you the bad state of the gaming industry right now. The fact that that is the situation. So anyways, yeah, I guess the patch is like, what, a week and a half away or something for Starfield? That should be fun. PlayStation, yeah, well, PlayStation's gonna keep getting the exclusive bundles until the new COD. The part of the marketing deal is they're guaranteed all of this marketing stuff, so they can't just end that, or they'd have to pay off PlayStation, which isn't worth it to them. So yeah, apparently they're like peanut butter on bread. Matt Booty can't handle the studios. Again, the guy couldn't handle 5 studios. He has no business handling over a dozen. And then they've also got some of the whole point of buying Bethesda was they were supposed to be a self-managing company, and they can't even handle themselves. There is also an alleged note, and this one really is allegedly. Mikami, who is running Tango, he left, I think we talked about this like last summer, but apparently he's also taken a vast amount of the talent, as he was unhappy with the state of like Bethesda / Microsoft. So that's why he left the company, and I guess he's taken a vast majority of the Tango Gamesworks talent, which also could suggest why they were falling apart. The bigger catalyst issue, too, is Microsoft, the parent company, is watching Xbox a lot more closely now because of the big Activision purchase. There's certain word that, like, they're not happy with how it's being run, they know that there's more money that could be made, they're keeping a tighter eye on it. And then I think the funniest part, too, of this whole thing, of the studios kind of being closed, is that Matt Booty, during the Townhall, also claimed that Xbox needs, or sorry, and I quote, needs smaller games that give us prestige and awards. And he said that, again, today, the day after they closed Tango, that made Hi-Fi Rush, which was a smaller game that gave them prestige and awards. like what? Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, that's what, 40-something minutes of just the dense news that happened today from Xbox and all of its studio problems in one day. We didn't even take a second to branch out and talk about other stuff, or talk about like anything else going on, or really do feedback chat or anything. on Xbox's issues today. That was literally 45 minutes straight discussion and info of all the info that went out today. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. So again, fingers crossed, tomorrow when I wake up, I don't have to read more doom and gloom about Xbox, because hopefully all the doom and gloom will have been completed. That's the other thing that gets me, is like, they're trying to build up hype and anticipation for their Xbox Game Showcase. And they're announcing all of this stuff, like, literally ahead of it. Oh, fuck right off. I don't understand the timing of this. Like, I get... Because they already did all their fiscal reporting, too, and stuff, didn't they? And it's just... I'm so... I get that guy? I just destroyed the Claymore? Aw, oh, come on. Like, you'd think you would time this stuff a little bit better, so all this doom and gloom kind of happens during that point where you're moving all of your games to other platforms. During that time when you're, like, laying off all those Activision people. You should try to consolidate all of these, you know, all this bad news and horrible situations around one time. Because, you know, like, honestly, it's very hard for me to get excited about the Xbox Game Showcase next month. Because, like, what's there to be excited about? You know, there's all these, like, studios and stuff getting axed, and then there's all these problems you're hearing, and it's like, god damn, man, they're really using those long-range assault rifles. All I have is this MP5 class because I prestiged. We need to bring out the AK or something. So where is this guy chilling? Oh, god damn it. I'm trying to kill that guy over there, sneaky wiener. God damn it, man. Anyways, yeah, it's really hard to get excited for that showcase. When I know for sure now, you know, we're not going to see Evil Within 3. We're not going to see Hi-Fi Rush 2. With Perfect Dark, will be nowhere to be seen. I would particularly be worried about Perfect Dark if they don't have a teaser for it. You know, if the marketing guy, Aaron Greenberg, there has to be prompted by people complaining to show that he's marketing stuff, or that he needs to say in the first place that he's marketing. If you're a good, like, if you're good at your job in regards to marketing, we should see that. We should not have to be told it. That's, like, kind of a big part of marketing, is, like, seeing the thing they're marketing. And not being told, hey, we're going to market something, just seeing it. And you'd be like, oh, this was a good job, a good marketing campaign and stuff. Yeah. I also find it very entertaining. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Apple's getting a bit of heat today from creatives because their latest commercial for the iPad is, like, showing a... What was it? One of those, like, compression things. I'm trying to think of the proper terminology for it. You know, you, like, press things between something, like a hydraulic press? Yeah, they got a giant hydraulic press that's, like, smashing all of these, like, artistic things, like, paintbrushes and, you know, like, all these different instruments and electronic devices are all getting smushed, and that's, like, I guess supposed to showcase the thin power of the new iPad? Really? That guy actually knifed me? That's weird. That's really, really weird. So I guess that's kind of funny, too, is Apple getting a little bit of heat for that. I don't think the greater community really cares about it, but a lot of articles going on about it, and some creatives tweeting that they're not happy about that. Particularly a lot of creative types from, like, Japan and stuff are talking about how important, like, instruments and stuff and their tools are to them as artists, and then, like, Apple kind of just pissing all over that by crushing stuff. So that's kind of fun. Fable? I mean, yeah, you know, honestly, I'd be worried about kind of any Xbox franchise at this point. Seriously, like, Fable, like, because again, Fable has been in development for such a long time. You gotta kind of wonder if it's actually even shaping up. That's what I'm saying, is, like, Xbox is literally killing all of the hype for their event. And it's just ridiculous. Like, I really, you know, you gotta sit there and wonder, it's like, how much longer will, like, Phil Spencer be able to sit there and, like, fail upwards before, like, Microsoft does anything about it? It's crazy to me. It really is, like, the brand, I would say morale of the brand is like at an all-time low. And I thought it couldn't actually get lower than where it was in the spring, but like somehow they keep raising the bar. And I know, you know, like honestly, like the whole industry is having problems. But it's a real issue when you yourself are like at the top of those problems. It doesn't really make any sense, right? Like, who's even talking about the issues with Helldivers? Like, PlayStation, they haven't even restored I think it was 177 countries that can't buy Helldivers. They still can't buy it again. And, you know, no one's even talking about that because the whole industry is just, like, shuttered chatting about Xbox and tweeting about, like, the head of Xbox. I don't think I've ever seen another company where you see a figurehead of its company constantly trending on social media. It's weird. It shouldn't be a thing at all. It's bizarre to me. And then Nintendo, they're just chilling out, just being like, hey, we got a new Nintendo console coming, and everyone's pretty happy about it. It's like, that would be really cool if that was the big news that we had to talk about during a stream, was like, hey, they just tweeted that, you know, there's new Xbox hardware coming. Cool, cool. What will it be like? What will it have? And instead we're like, oh, are we gonna even get more hardware? You know, what part of the company is being shuttered tomorrow? What franchise is disappearing? Ugh. The hell's happening here? Server disconnect? Is this game having server issues tonight? Because that's like 2 matches I've had issues from. I'm not having any frame drops, so I don't understand that. Until Gears 6 gets announced. Well, at least we know the Coalition will deliver on Gears 6. At least, I guess. Well, I mean, I didn't think it was possible for Forza not to, like... Forza Motorsport, there's, like, no chatter or anything about that game. It just kind of came out, and then it seems like most people just moved on from it. Which is weird. Like, I don't know, I find that really weird. What else was there from Xbox 2 that kind of just came and went as well? It's just... I don't know. Like, I find a lot of this stuff Xbox is doing. Helldivers on Xbox? I mean, it'd be cool, but it's not happening. They're not porting... Because that's something a lot of people really don't understand, too. Is, like, Xbox is porting their games because they're desperate. PlayStation, they're having troubles, but they don't need to port their games. And if you were porting your games, you would port them to PC or Nintendo where there's more players. There's no point in porting Helldivers to Xbox, and you're maybe going to get, in a dream situation, an extra 2 million users playing your game. It's just not really worth it. Probably less than 2 million even. There's just not enough Xbox gamers to buy this stuff. It's not worth the financial... It's not worth the financial cost of porting. And it's not worth potentially damaging your ecosystem by giving away your games. It's not worth the cost. Xbox only did that because they were desperate. Avowed? I'm pretty excited about Avowed. But that's my problem too, is like, I'm worried that like, oh hey Supa. I'm worried that Avowed is going to come and not be received well, and then Obsidian will be gone, or Obsidian will be sent to, like, the Fallout mines or something. You get what I mean? Like, we haven't had this like, this is a distinct... Somehow, Xbox has created a new set of worries and problems in one day. It's incredible. Like, you know, like, a week ago, I had absolutely no thought that Xbox Studios would be struggling, or would be, well, I mean, they're always struggling to release games. But I never thought they would be struggling to the point that they could get closed or anything. The whole point of Game Pass and buying these studios was to foster the development and stuff to build games and fuel Game Pass. And it's like, obviously that hasn't worked. And it all comes down to management. You need timelines, you need to get developers working on stuff, you need to get things released and out the door. Which Xbox is incapable of doing, and have been incapable of doing for a decade. It's crazy to me. If some of these studios didn't run themselves, these games just literally would never come out. Like, the only reason the Coalition got Gears out the door so fast every 2 years was because they had great, you know, studio management and everything like that. Like, if it had fallen on Xbox to get those games out the door, it just would have never happened. And that's crazy to me. It really genuinely is. Like, you need some level of management. It's kind of like in the film industry, people hate when the studio meddling, but like sometimes it works. Look at Snyder films. You know, he had unlimited creativity and control on this god-awful Moon base. What was that called? Moon Scar Giver? Moon Scars? You know, like the Star Wars ripoff? The Rebel Moon? Moon Rebel? Whatever the hell that garbage was. Anyways, you know, there was no studio meddling involved, and it's like, sometimes you need to step in if something's not getting done as management and make sure that the timelines are corrected. And if, like, the talent isn't getting the work done, you replace some of the talent, you get it done. That's how managing works. Right? Obsidian closing, like InXile closing. Like, I'm sitting here and there's a lot of developers where I'm kind of like, you know, is the studio safe? I think, one, we should be looking at with worry outside of Ninja Theory kind of closing down if Hellblade doesn't do well. Because again, they're looking at porting Hellblade to PlayStation, so obviously they have no confidence in it selling on Xbox. They didn't even start marketing it until today when the when the community started complaining to the Xbox marketer there. And then he had to tweet that they're marketing, and then the ads started showing up, but it's just, I'd be worried about machine games, because apparently they haven't really had, like, the first Wolfenstein reboot did well, but I guess the other stuff hasn't really sold that well. And they're doing Indiana Jones, and I know Indiana Jones sounds like something that should be a surefire hit, but, you know, Dial of Destiny crashed and burned. That movie flopped, and it lost, what, a couple $100 million for Disney or something like that? So, like, I know a lot of us love Indiana Jones and are excited about it. And maybe, you know, maybe gaming's a little bit different than movies. But we might be overestimating how popular an IP Indiana Jones is. And if that game flops, Machine Gun Games may be a target for closure. I'd also look at some of these other companies, like Compulsion there. You know, they haven't released a game in like 5-6 years. They got... is it South of Midnight coming? If that doesn't do well, are they gonna be closed? Yeah, I gotta lose a Canadian studio. And you know, like, what are the factors involved? You got Xbox saying that Hi-Fi Rush was a success and all the metrics they care about, and they got closed. Xbox says they need a claim. They still closed Ghostwire Tokyo. They said they want to be in Japan. That's why I don't believe them with that, you know, that Square Enix thing where they're like, we're working with Square Enix now to bring games and stuff, and it's like, I told people I never believe that because Xbox isn't serious about it, and neither is Square Enix, unless you give them money, lots of money, because that's just how Square works. But, you know, Square's in a panic. Their, you know, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 didn't sell very well, and they're gonna start, like, working on just certain projects, and they're going to cut down on doing side projects just to, you know, guaranteed income, and they had a huge hundreds of millions of dollars write-off this last quarter. And that's Square that's struggling, too. Everybody in the gaming industry is struggling. And, you know, they're doing this thing, but it's like, you go back, and again, because I'm doing my yearly rewatches of the old E3s, and there's been a couple times where Xbox has been like, we're working with Square, and then nothing happens. Like, they were working with Square during the 360 era to do Final Fantasy 12 online, and, you know, that kind of disappeared. And then they were working with them again to work with Square, and they were introducing, you know, Final Fantasy 13, the 3 Final Fantasy 13s, and then that fizzled out. And then, you know, again, from that deal between Phil Spencer and Square, allegedly this year, I know we got Final Fantasy XIV Online, but I don't think that was part of it. I think that was already planned ahead of that discussion. We haven't really seen other games come over. You know, you just gotta sit there and you're just kind of like, You know, like Broken Promises and stuff from Xbox. Undead Labs, yeah, they're at risk. Apparently their management is horrible to work under. Indiana Jones and the Dial of a Myth. Yeah. No, seriously, like, I'd really be worried about a number of these studios. Like, just literally a week ago, I was like, oh, you know, if Xbox hardware just disappears, that's fine. Well, it's not fine. I'd hate that. I wouldn't like it. But, you know, they'd still be releasing all these games. All these studios would be fine. I never even thought that they would even think of closing a studio. And now I'm sitting here just, like, literally counting through the list of, you know, studios and that. And I'm like, okay, these guys might not be safe. These guys might not be safe. If I was working at Xbox, I'd be in full panic mode because I'd be like, is my job secure? It's a terrible look. But the real terrible look is being here and not liking the stream. Subscribing's great, donations cool, be the channel member you might want to be. There's channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chatter, and OK times. There's also an Amazon Starfield link if you're into that. And don't worry guys, as long as, you know, Xbox doesn't have even bad news tomorrow, we'll be doing Halo Infinite, which will be, or not Halo Infinite, sorry. So funny. We'll be doing Halo MCC tomorrow, so that should be fun. With hopefully no death of Xbox. Yeah, he told the FTC all kinds of stuff, you know, like that COD was going to be on Game Pass so that it's valued for the consumer and they might not put it on Game Pass. And how am I doing tonight? I'm tired of talking about all this doom and gloom. What, besides studio closures? Dude, I just did like an hour of talking about all this stuff. I have like a notepad that I had to take a picture of to sit here and talk about. Battle Block Theater? I haven't played Battle Block Theater on the Series X. I never did a video on it. I wanted to, but I had what was it? My one video of theirs, I did Alien Hominid and people didn't really watch it, so I was like, oh, maybe Battle Block wouldn't be a good idea for a video. Yeah, it kind of scares me when I see some stuff doing not too well and stuff. If that makes sense. Is it gonna keep trying to put me in these small lobbies? I know there's full lobbies out here. You're scared for Starfield? No, Starfield will do well. See, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people, they're like, oh, you know, the word on Starfield is really negative from people, but Starfield was the only new IP in the top 10 games of last year. Like, Starfield is the biggest new IP in gaming history. And as much as people hate on Starfield and stuff, that game was a massive success. So you're going to keep seeing Starfield content as long as they want to do them before they work on the Elder Scrolls Online. Okay, now I wish that one idiot would leave that lobby so I don't keep getting put with them. Because for whatever reason, matchmaking keeps trying to put me with that one guy. And if he would disappear, that wouldn't be a problem. Here we go. 7 out of 12 players? Ugh, that's not very busy. Oh, they definitely could have, I guess they could have done Starfield at 60 FPS at launch if they could do it tomorrow. Yeah. Or tomorrow, sorry, in the next week here. But my thing with the 60 FPS mode for Starfield, what the hell is this? Oh, it's hardcore team deathmatch. Why? Why are you playing hardcore team deathmatch? That's weird. So for Starfield though, it's like for 60 FPS, they mentioned that it's like for TVs that have VRR. I'm thinking the 60 FPS mode isn't going to be as smooth as people are maybe assuming it's gonna be. If that makes sense. I think the 40 FPS mode will be really good, but I think that 60 FPS mode is gonna look really bad visually. And I think it's not going to run very good. Because when we looked at Starfield, it wasn't even hitting a smooth 30 FPS. So I'm really assuming they're going to have taken some severe cutbacks in order to make that work. And I'm also thinking that them mentioning VRR kind of means that 60 FPS is not going to be smooth. I mean, like I said, we'll do a video on it, we'll take a look at it, probably do a little stream talking about it. But just don't assume since it has a 60 FPS mode, that it's going to run really well at 60 FPS. Could also be them just kind of future-proofing it, so just keep your expectations in check. Because I don't want you to be really bummed out when it releases and it's not, you know, as smooth as you want. I forgot how clean this game looks when you take away the UI. It's actually kind of nice. I'm not really a hardcore player, but, you know, we kind of got stuck in here, so I was just like, we'll just rock this. And we'll go back to regular, you know, matchmaking stuff. Yeah, 40 FPS is perfect. Yeah, there'll be a video for Starfield. We'll probably, like I said, we'll do a video, and then we'll probably do an accompanying stream as well for fun, because I like playing Starfield, so personally, I'm looking forward to it. And, yeah, there'll be a video and then a stream, and then we might have a Series S Starfield video too, but I don't know if the Series S is getting any sort of changes. Potter. Well, tomorrow should be Halo, and then Friday for Double XP, we'll be back on the new COD. And then X Defiant, when that comes out, we'll be streaming it. Yeah. Phil will save Xbox again. I mean, I don't think he's ever actually saved Xbox, has he? He's actually made it worse. Like, I know a lot of people really seem to hate Don Mattrick, but Xbox was hella more successful, and that guy actually knew what games to put together. Seriously. Or like Peter Moore and stuff, like seriously, there was a time where Xbox really was a dominant force in the industry. Oh my god, can we really not get like a match, a team deathmatch going on here even? I have to play hardcore team deathmatch? This is really weird. Let me check what other lobbies there are. But like seriously though, it's like Phil Spencer, he's had a decade to do anything with the company, and he's been unable to do anything. Oh, there's a full match. We're just not getting into that full match. I see what's happening here. We're kind of getting screwed on this. Yeah. It's a bad economy, but yet the house prices just keep rising. What is the new Xbox going to offer? They said it's the greatest technical leap ever for a console, which again, mathematically isn't possible. And you could maybe achieve that if you ditch AMD and go with NVIDIA, but I doubt they're going to do that. I think they're just trying to make the next Xbox sound really exciting, but, you know, basically they're giving up on this gen. They're going to do an early 2026 new gen for Xbox. They're going to hope it takes off, and that's the shape of things. But seriously, I don't know what they could offer that would be much different than this console at this point, right? They're not doing VR, because they can't even get games out the door, so they wouldn't be able to do VR projects. Motion controls are gone. They're not going to pull out a Kinect 3. So I don't know what they could do to make their console more appealing. Honestly, I don't really know anymore. It's just going to be the same as usual. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for a Starfield stream. Yeah. Pretty excited. I have lots of fun doing it. I mean, there's a good excuse, right, with that update and everything. And we'll go see how the wife Sarah's doing. We'll fly across the cosmos. I don't think I have any storylines left, do I? Yeah. The backwards compatibility program. Well, again, Phil Spencer was actually pretty high up at Xbox before he took over. And he would have been part of the team that kind of decided that the 360's successor, the Xbox One, wasn't going to be backwards compatible. I don't know if you guys have seen my video of the Xbox 720, but if you haven't, it's actually a very, very good educational video. Because there was basically these leaked documents from Microsoft about what their initial plans were for the Xbox One. And it was called the Xbox 720 internally. Seriously, it's a great video. Talks all about that kind of stuff in depth. But their plan is they were going to come in at the market. They knew how much the PlayStation was going to be. They knew it was going to be $399. Their original goal was to actually bundle with the Kinect and have their console cost $299. So they were actually going to be $100 less than the PS4, so that they could grab as much of the market as they could, which was genius. And they were going to have backwards compatibility. So at some point along the lines, that management, which again included Phil Spencer as part of those discussions, decided that backwards compatibility with 360 was not important. And also that they would charge $100 more than the PlayStation 4, which was incredibly dumb. And I know some of the specs changed along the way, but like, as I said, it's a fascinating video going over those documents. It's really neat, because some people think it's like clickbait, but it genuinely isn't. It's real, actual information, and really, really cool, honestly. But I digress. And it's like, yeah, he did backwards compatibility, but a lot of people act like that's some kind of special thing when it's really just something most consoles have, and it's weird when consoles don't do that. If that makes sense. Like, the 360 was backwards compatible with the original Xbox. I don't know if you guys remember that, but, you know, you could play, like, hundreds of games from your original Xbox on your 360. It's not as, like, fancy as it is now, where they've got FPS boost and, you know, resolution boost in very, very small amounts. But, like, backwards compatibility isn't really that... Like, it's magical, but it's not really that magical, and if you don't keep adding to it, it's kind of like, okay. You get what I mean? It's something that people always want more of, and after it's been done for years, like backwards compatibility has been. Outside of allegedly the Activision deal giving us more, but I mean, we might not even get caught on Game Pass now, so it's like, you know, are we going to get more games on backwards compat? I don't know. But... yeah, it just kind of becomes a feature over time, where it's just sort of like, that's cool, but, you know, they haven't done anything with it in years, so it's kind of just there, right? Like, it's just available. I always said they should add filters and stuff, but, you know, that's just me blabbing. Trying to say that they could do cool things with it. Like, seriously, it'd be pretty cool to go back and play the original Gears, but it's like black and white as a filter would be really neat. You know what I mean? Or some kind of like, you know, just cool little ways to switch up your older games would be fun additions, or resolution boosting more 360 games, which again, I don't think the Series X is powerful enough, which is why we didn't get that. But yeah, it's just sort of like, it's cool, but it's not crazy. Like, you know, PlayStation consoles have had backwards compatibility. Most Nintendo consoles have as well. In the modern era, it really should be a bit of a basic feature unless you truly change up your architecture, right? But it's just, it's cool, but it's not a killer thing. And it's something that, like, we've appreciated, but it's just a feature at this point, right? Like, it's not groundbreaking or anything. Was bad? I don't know, man. There was a ton of original Xbox games that were playable on the 360. Like, it didn't always work perfectly, but, you know, you could play, like, a vast selection of games, stuff that literally is not backwards compatible today. There's a ton of titles that are backwards compatible for the 360 that are not backwards compatible for the Series XS or Xbox One. Just a ton of games. But you get my point, is it's just like, it's a feature that's existed. It's not like a groundbreaking thing that Xbox has, and if you're on PC, you can play all those games forever anyways, right? They'd always be forward compatible, and if they aren't, someone would patch it. Damn it. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, man. Next Battlefield? It's a tremendous live service game, I've heard. Just tremendous. Yeah. A tremendous live service. Whatever that means. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, because was it the head of EA or something was like that? He's like, I've seen the new Battlefield. I think he literally said this like yesterday. He's like, it's the most tremendous live service I've ever seen. I was sitting there being like, what does What does that mean? The most tremendous live service I've ever seen. It's like, how do you... Like, I feel like some of these execs, they're just so out of touch with gaming that they just kind of, like, say marketing buzzwords that sound good to, like, shareholders, but, like, seriously, though, for a game that's not out yet, what does it mean to have the most tremendous live service an executive's ever seen? Do they have, like, a lot of, like, is the game done, and they have, like, years of post-launch content planned? Does that mean there's, like, a lot of microtransactions? Like, I'm just flabbergasted. Again, I think of the whole thing there from, was it MJ and Spider-Man? That's what I'm always referencing whenever I'm like, whatever that means, because, you know, she's talking to Tobey Maguire, you know, Peter Parker there, and he's like, I've taken up poetry, and she's like, whatever that means. No, but seriously, it's like, what does that even tremendously live service? It's just like dumb buzzwords. But hey, at least EA puts out games that, like, most of the time are pretty critically acclaimed and make lots of money, so, you know. I don't know. The next... Well, Xbox, they cannot compete with PlayStation. I don't even know if we're gonna get more PlayStations. I think PS6 will probably... Well, I think PS7 will probably be the last PlayStation, and then they'll just be on PC too. But I mean, that's quite a while away, so the industry will change tremendously then. Who knows, maybe consoles come out like a big, huge comeback. But the issue is, the younger kids, they play on their phones, they play on PC, they don't care about consoles. And that doesn't seem to ever be changing, so that's just how it is, right? You can't change that, that's just where the market is. So it kind of makes the consoles less important. I've been telling people for at least a good couple of years now, and no one wants to believe that the console market's dying. But it's like, younger people... Consoles sell faster than they've ever sold. But that's because the people that grew up with the consoles and like console gaming, that still buy consoles, and haven't converted to other stuff, they buy them right away, right? But the issue with that is that you don't have younger people buying consoles. So as these older people get older and older and older, they either stop gaming, they die... you know, there's stuff like that. There's not anyone to replace them. You get what I mean? It's the same with the movie industry. The younger people, they don't go to the movies. They're, well, it's too costly, right? It's too expensive. And you have the same issue with live sports now, where it's kind of like, you know, it costs way too much to get a ticket to a game. You don't get a younger generation growing up with a passion of watching, being into it, and then it kind of dies out. And I was like, yeah. Except if you're Nintendo. Yeah, I don't see Nintendo going anywhere. I see Nintendo eventually having to follow suit of Xbox and PlayStation and moving their stuff to PC. I'm sure there'll be eventually a time where even the Nintendo consoles kind of wane in terms of, like, growth and interest. They'll always have their main stuff that does really well, but I do kind of like... Nintendo's an outlier. They're very hard to predict. But I see where that's entirely where the market's going. Like, I think Nintendo being still in sort of the Stone Ages of tech will eventually be a problem for them. Kind of like it was sort of during that Wii U era, where that was kind of almost like the end of Nintendo to some degree. But I mean, they have so much extra reserves for cash, so they're always kind of good. But you get what I mean, where that Wii U sold tremendously bad. It was tremendously live service, not... But... It was like a legitimate problem. Like, it sold horribly, the Wii U, but they were able to come back with the Nintendo Switch, which again is the comparison I always make for Xbox. Same time frame, the Wii U to Nintendo Switch went from, was it 10, 20 many? Like, there was not many units sold of the Wii U. They went from that to 140 million with their next console, whereas Xbox actually declined gen over gen. So that's where I'm always like, so what's Phil Spencer's excuse? That's a totally fair thing to know, right? Like, what is his excuse for that? Why can't he do what Nintendo did? I mean, he owns all the franchises, right? Like, what is the excuse? And I think people are finally maybe done coming up with them for him, hopefully, at this point, but it's hard to say. But like, yeah, that's the thing too. Is like the console market is shrinking, and the Nintendo Switch is a huge success, but it still can't beat the PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? Which came out, like, consoles, they peaked in the 2000s, and that's kind of sadly just as far as it goes, right? Unless there's a big resurgence of things, which could happen. But yeah, you gotta look at it like this. Even like the darling Nintendo Switch that has, god fucking damn, I'm trying to get up on the roof. That has everything, you know, third-party support, great exclusives, sold 140 million units, still can't beat the PS2. That's not a growth industry. But people just get mad and they don't think about stuff. Sometimes you gotta take the emotions out of it. And I've heard it helps to like the stream. Subscribing's great, donations cool, consider becoming a channel member. Channel member gifting. The Patreon option. The Discord for stream alerts, chatter, and great times. There's also an Amazon Starfield link. If you're into that kind of thing, use the link in the video description. Easy ways to support the content on the channel. And don't worry guys, I think the doom and gloom should let up tomorrow, and it'll be a sunny day of Halo MCC. And then we're back to COD on the weekend for double XP while on Friday night. Unless, of course, Xbox comes up with an even more of a clusterfuck of bad news tomorrow. I mean, I didn't think there'd be any today, but... You know, if that's one thing Xbox is good at, it's throwing curveballs of doom and gloom my direction. You know what I mean? Like, I want to wake up and have a week where I don't hear about Xbox at all, really would be nice. Just like a quiet week, and I can just be like... It's nice that there's nothing to really go over. That'd be great. You know what? Like at least for a sports team, you follow your sports team all year. When they go golfing, you're not keeping track of their golfing, you know? So you're just like, okay, it's done. And man, did the Oilers smack around the Canucks today. It's a side hockey note there. It's good for the views. It brings in some extra people, but I mean, we can get these view counts on like new videos, like new games that are out and stuff. So, from what I've noticed, the death of Xbox stuff is actually bad for the channel. Like from a subscriber standpoint, it's actually really negative. But like, it's news and it's something to talk about, and I don't care, and I sugarcoat, I don't sugarcoat stuff, so it is what it is. But it's not a positive for my channel. Other people that do videos and stuff, they seem to do really well when there's like controversy or clickbaity stuff or, you know, kind of doom and gloom. But for me, it never works. It never works for me. I have the metrics and stuff to prove it, but seriously, I never really get a boost from that kind of stuff. Although it would be nice, yeah. It would be nice. I'm just glad that it got us the ability to stream Gears the other day, because, you know, we don't get to stream. I was almost thinking of streaming Gears again today, but I was like, 2 days in a row, I don't think so, but I want to get those grinding up there. You've been ill for 3 weeks? Have you been, like, ill, or have you been, like, ill for 3 weeks? The short version? Xbox is closing studios. Stuff from the inside says it's doom and gloom for everything at Xbox, and Xbox, you could compare Phil Spencer and his close crew to a wacky inflatable arm man, but minus the smooth setup of the wacky inflatable arm man, and they're just sort of flailing their arms around, not knowing what's happening or what's going on. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. People don't like bad news. Yeah, they really don't like having opinions and stuff challenged. I accept it for what it is, but it is kind of annoying. Hey, Skybot does what Skybot does. Don't hate on Skybot. It's just out there trying to do its job, you know what I mean? Like, you guys have no idea how many, like, sex bots and, like, bad actors we used to have. Until Skybot came along. Skybot in combination with, what was it? The subscribers only chat has curbed so much of the bad discussion and the, yeah. So the chat may be quieter some nights, but the chat is a lot cleaner. A lot cleaner. So when Skybot's giving you crap for too many emotes, you know, that's just because Skybot's programmed to take out the sex bots. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. You were basically dying? Liam, did you consider getting a good immune system? I believe that's what the kids consider getting good, if I'm correct there. Yeah, no, before I wasn't including Sarah Bond in the mix, but I was kind of re-looking at how, like, long she's been there and stuff, and it's like, yeah, because they're kind of gearing her up to replace him, but if they replace Phil Spencer with Sarah Bond, it's going to be, like, practically the same situation. So ideally, we're looking like a purge situation that happened with 343 there. Like, Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, and Aaron Greenberg to start should be, you know, given the boot, in my opinion. Given the Matt Booty. No, it's still, the Series X is still a nice console. It's just basically let down by the people that manage it and manage the software and develop the software. See, Skybot, Skybot has lots of great commands. If you're doing it really well, Skybot, you can have full conversations with it, which is kind of funny. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is it's like, it's great for backwards compatibility, buying old games, but if you really, really want that stuff, you can just emulate it on PC too, right? That's the sad spot about it. What's still making a big profit? Xbox? I mean, technically Xbox is in decline. It's only because of the inclusion of Activision Blizzard that drove revenue this quarter. Their hardware is down 30-something%, and it was down the previous quarter that was being compared to as well. It's a massive decline. Because they're, you know, because a lot of people would be like, oh, it doesn't matter how many consoles are sold, it's about Game Pass subscriptions. And it's like, well, Game Pass subscriptions are down. And that's because they're not selling consoles. You need to sell consoles to sell subscriptions. Any fucking idiot can put 2 and 2 together there. That's why I was so confused when people were like, console sales don't matter, they just need Game Pass. And it's like, you reach a certain point where every single person on your console that is going to subscribe to Game Pass has subscribed to Game Pass. You need more users to sell more subscriptions. That's how it works. Seriously, it's just basic math. Seriously basic math. And it's like, yeah, sure, you get people on PC, maybe eventually they'll get something going for mobile, but like, they're obviously not there yet, and they haven't been there for years. They're still not at that point. And PC as well, you're only going to get so many players. And it's going to be really hard to retain them and keep them on there, and it's like, there's a finite amount of things, but if you sell more consoles, you can sell more subscriptions. Duh. Seriously, it's just economics. It's like, you can have like the coolest subscription service in the world if you don't have a user base to like sell it to. It doesn't work. Like, it's a little different when you've got things like Netflix. And Netflix, they took a long time for them to get like cash positive flow and stuff going. That was a terrible spawn. But like, you know, Netflix has the advantage of also being something that's more easier to attain. You can get Netflix anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, any device, you can shove Netflix onto it. It doesn't work like that for gaming yet. I mean, the cloud gaming concept's cool, but, you know, basically they're cut off from all their Activision Blizzard stuff on the cloud gaming, because Ubisoft has the rights, because it was part of the divestment they had to do to buy Activision Blizzard. So it's like, you know, it's a cool concept to do that, but in actuality, it doesn't necessarily work. Whereas Netflix, you can shove that on your phone, your tablet, any PC, anything like that. And the other thing too, games versus movies. Yeah, there's a lot more gamers in the world, and there's more gamers all the time. getting into gaming, you know, people growing up with it and stuff. But, like, it's a lot easier for someone or a family to be like, grab a Netflix and just sit there and watch a movie. You don't have to input, you don't have to do anything. Some people don't like games because you have to do stuff. So that even limits your players. And then, yeah, you know, believe it or not, Game Pass is very limited by the amount of consoles sold because it's so tethered to the console and the concept of a console. So there you go. That's economics for you. Can't remember the last time you turned on your Xbox? Well, Liam, could you turn on your Xbox and download Hellblade as part of the Game Pass? So that way, you know, the Ninja Theory devs don't get, like, killed by Xbox. I can't believe we're at the point where we have to plead with people to check out good games so that, you know, their parent company, Microsoft, doesn't give them the axe. The golden axe. Yeah. Physical copies? No, there's more money in digital copies for video games. Physical copies, you have to pay to have the thing manufactured. So for when you're selling a game on a console, like PlayStation, let's say for example, immediately 30% goes to the company, it goes to PlayStation when you make a game. If you're EA, you got the new Battlefield, 30% of that goes to PlayStation. So you get 70%. And then that 70% gets cut down because you have to manufacture a case, print the ink. You have to pay for that physical copy to be distributed to a store. And then on top of that, you might lose money from a potential customer because that customer might sell their copy to another person at, like, you know, a lower cost to use game sales. So you're actually losing a lot of money. You're probably only making, I don't know, I'll be optimistic. Let's say you're making 60% of how much a game costs when you're doing a physical disc. Why do you think? Well, actually, I guess younger people wouldn't really understand that. If you're younger, you might not have heard of this, but there was this thing called an online pass. It's not a battle pass, but it was this novel concept that all these stupid companies were doing in the 2010s? I think it was like 2010. Where basically, if you bought a game used, you'd have to pay $10 on the Microsoft Store to play online because it had an online pass, or you would have content that was cut out from you because there was an online pass. And that was to dissuade people from reselling their games. Obviously that didn't work, so they got rid of it after a few years, but it was a big thing. In the 2010s. Long time ago. But yeah, no, there's less money for companies doing physical discs. I know there's a lot of people out there that still love their physical copies, but you are a dwindling number of people every single year. There's probably only 6% of people on Xbox that even buy physical copies. Your physical copy just plays a digital, like it's just a license to play a digital copy. Your console doesn't even run the disc. It literally makes no sense at all to buy physical copies. I know some people really like them. I don't need another lecture on that. But, like, no, there's inherently no value to buying a physical copy in the modern era. There is not. It gives you a false sense of ownership, I guess. But, like, it doesn't make the company more money. It's not more economically valuable to them. It's good economic value to you because I guess you could resell it. But, I mean, I look on, like, you know, Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and like used Xbox games, they don't sell for like anything, so I don't really know who's making money out here. But yeah, that's the whole physical thing. Sorry, it's just people don't buy physical copies. I'm sorry. Don't burn me alive, but yeah, they don't. I'm scared for Ninja Theory, yeah. Yeah, Valander, you're a perfect example of a physical copy. You ever get that Baldur's Gate physical copy you've been waiting a year for? Is that still happening? Yeah, you played Stella Blade last night? Stella Blade. And you loved it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I loved Stellar Blade. That game, definitely in my top 10 this year. If not, maybe like my favorite game this year. Stellar Blade was a blast. Did I play the first Hellblade? Hell yeah, I did. I love Hellblade. Will I be playing Hellblade? Yeah, I think so. Liam's a Sapphire member. Rejoice for Liam. Now I know that I've been doing streaming a long time. Because my longest members are now like couple year partner or couple year partners, couple year members. And it's just like, oh my god, it's been years now. Ha 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 ha. I mean, it's really nice that anyone is interested in me enough to like want to be a member for that long is really cool. Because we also had who hit Sapphire a little bit ago. Yeah, and then Friendly Homie, if he resubscribes, he should be close to Amethyst level, which is key years and stuff, which would be wild. But yeah, no, it was Jason Lives, I think, was hit Sapphire a couple weeks ago, which again is like 2 years as a member, which is wild. So I never imagined I was that much of value to anyone to be around that long. You buy them digitally and physically? But why? I could see the novel concept of it being like vinyl, where it's sort of like it's cool to have it as like a display piece. I've actually thought that for a couple games. It would be cool to have a physical copy of them just to display it. But otherwise, I don't really get the point in buying it twice. Unless it's a novel thing where it's kind of like, again, like vinyl, right? You know, it's just with the streaming availability and everything in music, you don't really need to buy music. But I like owning vinyls because it's like an experience and it's sort of a cool thing to have. And it's nice to pull out the record player every once in a while, grab a bottle of wine and kind of like chillax to some music. It's a different experience, is what it is. Yeah. Just 6 months? Are you sure? I feel like they've delayed it on you like several times. Is it still even coming? Didn't they delay it again, Baldur's Gate? The physical copy? It feels like it's been a year. It'll be a year before you get it, I think. But yeah, you could have finished that game and moved on at this point. Yeah, no, they really, it felt like they were maybe finally building to something Xbox this year, and they've just completely tanked their brand to lower levels than I even thought was possible. But anyways, like I said, for Hellblade 2, I should be covering it. Nothing has indicated to me that any sort of thing with Xbox and mine relationship has changed, I guess. I don't know. I have a new contact there or whatever, and she's cool, I guess. We don't really interact much other than, hey, can I get this game? She goes, okay. And, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of the situation there. So, like, I heard that we should be having access to Hellblade next week. I mean, if I don't get it, I'll bitch to you, but, yeah, so allegedly we should have access to it next week, which will give, you know, an adequate amount of time to, like, play it. So, yeah, I should be reviewing it, but then, you know, I was supposed to get Redfall to review. I was supposed to get, I don't know if I was supposed to get Starfield, but Redfall I was supposed to have early to review, didn't get that. And, you know, Starfield I got late too. But those ones, I guess they're because they're Bethesda, they're handled differently or something. I don't know. It's an Xbox Game Studios game, so I should have it. I should have it early to review, so stay tuned. And I guess the debate will be, do I do, like, am I going to prepare, like, a walkthrough video for it? I mean, obviously I'll review it on Series XS. Ooh, if I get it early enough, I'll do a PC review, too. Yeah. I was really hoping to get Starfield early so I could test that out, doing a Series XS and PC review, but maybe we'll try that with Hellblade and see how that goes. Because that might be fun. I'm trying to coordinate an interview with the actress there that, you know, does Sonoa, but I haven't really heard back. If you guys could watch the Fallout interview with Nick Valentine so that my interviews look better for views, that would probably help a bit too, just saying. But yeah, so probably a review of it on Series XS for sure. And then we'll stream it when it comes out. That's my thing, is like, maybe I should do a walkthrough, but then I'm like, probably just stream the whole game in one go and, you know, kind of do that instead. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Will Hellblade 2 sell well? I don't know. Internally, apparently Xbox has no faith in it, so fuck, I don't know. Yeah, I think Hellblade 2 will probably get a 60 FPS patch, and it'll probably end up on PlayStation and stuff. Thanks, Paradoxes. You're very, very kind. I try my best. What will the Switch 2 be? It'll be like the Switch, but with a slightly better specs. I mean, who wants a Switch 2 when you could buy the new Xbox handheld that's supposed to come out this year? Ooh. It would be more exciting, though, if you just like the stream. Subscribing's great, donations cool, consider becoming a channel member. Channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chatter, and OK times. There's also an Amazon store affiliate link if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have any business really necessarily running a company like that, but at least I try to have a sense of direction. Like, I think if you were, like, taking over for Xbox, you'd have to, like, immediately do, like, a trip, like a series of trips where you fly to every studio to see what the hell they're doing and how far along they are, and then you'd have to invite the heads over to, like, headquarters and kind of... You'd have to do, like, a yearly or, like, a twice-a-year thing where you bring all the studio heads together and kind of get an idea of where everyone's at and where you can share resources and things. And then you'd have to create a plan. Like, see, the problem with taking over for someone like Phil Spencer would be, like, games take a long time to develop, and realistically, I think he'd be cleaning up his fucking mess for at least 3 years. I'm not even kidding. It would probably take at least 3 years to clean up the mess he's made of all those studios. Not to even mention the mess of, like, the fact that, like, Bethesda and Activision and Blizzard are so, like, separate, and there's no, like, joint, like, they're not really joined. It's really just a mess, the whole thing. But yeah, it would probably take 3 years to clean up everything and then get stuff going, because you don't know the state of these games. As we talked about, apparently Perfect Dark is an absolute mess. With, like, they don't even know if Perfect Dark, apparently, they don't even know if it's going to be first person or not. And that's, like, a pretty fundamental thing for, like, designing a world and a concept for the game, is, like, how you're going to play it or how it's going to look. Because believe it or not, a third-person game is very different from first-person. And, you know, you can do both, but you have to model that, and it's just, it sounds like a cluster. A bad cluster. And you sit there and you're just like, what are they doing? So yeah, I mean, if we don't see Perfect Dark at the Xbox showcase, I would take it that that game is a complete mess. Oh, and in brighter news, we should be doing a get-together, or get some of my pals together, and we do a yearly Xbox Game Showcase What to Expect video, so that should be a stream that's like roughly an hour long next week or something, I think. It should be next week. I have to schedule with everyone. It's kind of based on, like, what days people have off and stuff, so I've got to coordinate that. A lot less exciting since it's going to be so doom and gloomy now. But since Xbox has less studios, it should be easier to kind of do preparations of what, you know, what to expect. So that's something. But yeah, that's coming up. We do it every year if you guys don't know. It's fun. Is anyone excited for Perfect Dark? I've been pretty excited for Perfect Dark. I mean, I really like Perfect Dark. I think the first one is a perfect shooter, so yeah, I've been really excited to see Joanna return. You know, I'm a big champion of Xbox's old IP kind of, you know, being used, so I've been really excited for a new Perfect Dark. Some would say I've waited decades for it, but you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I'm excited for Perfect Dark. Why wouldn't you be? There's no reason not to be excited about it. It's an IP that hasn't been used in a long time. It's a classic shooter game. Very well loved IP back in the day, and it's like, it's very malleable, so you can do almost anything with it. And it's like a secret agent kind of spy game with like a badass lead lady, and yeah, it could be really cool. If it's done right, it could be really, really great. And then you've got like Crystal Dynamics helping out on it. And, you know, they kind of do a really good job with female protagonists in video games, if you've played this little indie gem called Tomb Raider. So yeah, you just kind of take Tomb Raider and you make her a bit of a, you know, like Lara Croft, a bit of a secret agent spy person that's called Joanna Dark. You make it futuristic and you got a great game. in theory. It's a very easy concept to play with. Make her cool, make her sexy, make her like a female Bond. Like, seriously. That's literally what, well, that's, because if you don't know about the legacy of Perfect Dark, it was basically Rare wasn't able to make another James Bond game, so they were making it, and they just turned it into Perfect Dark. It's seriously really easy. Oh, you never played a Perfect Dark game? The first one is on Game Pass, runs at, I think, 4K 60. It's gorgeous, the game's great, it's lots of fun. If you like GoldenEye, because again, like, they made GoldenEye Rare. And then, yeah, apparently they weren't allowed to make another Bond game, and then they're like, well, we were modeling another one, and then they're like, okay, so everything we learned from GoldenEye, the original GoldenEye game, we're gonna put it into Perfect Dark, and that's, yeah, it's like, it's a perfect shooter. It's really, really good. And it's on Game Pass, so it's easy to recommend. And there's a video of it on the channel if you need to see it. It's very, very good. So yeah, you should give it a try. But yeah, sure, why not do a new one, right? Should be fun. Good to see you, yeah, thanks for dropping by. Always nice when people say hello. Xbox Portal, now I believe they're doing a proper handheld. An open copy of Biggie Smalls' Life After Death. Yeah, that would have been cool. Like, I guess if you've never played Hellblade, you should probably play the first one before playing the second. I mean, we don't know how heavily the second one leans upon the first. It looks like there's a bit of a time gap, so they might have a summary, but I would highly recommend, because you can easily get it done before the second one comes out. Check out Hellblade 1 before Hellblade 2, give you the story. It's, what, several hours to play it, it's not terribly long. If you're really ambitious, you could do it in like a day. Couple days, few days, it'd be very easy going. And you'd have a lot of fun with it. Pick a night, throw in a pair of headphones, because it's like ASMR the video game, and play some Hellblade. It's great. It really is. Sanoa's awesome. She's a great protagonist. Everything's really, really messed up for her. But it's a great series. Oh, thanks for the donation there, Going Beast. And thanks for the hot dog, Liam. Yeah. It's an easy concept, but they're struggling to do anything with it. And again, a lot of that is the management. You know, like, I could sit here all day being like, this is how it should go. And whether or not they want to do that for developing a game is on them, right? You know, it's not up to me, but, like, again, you look at the concept of Perfect Dark. It's just James Bond, but female in the future. You can throw a cool alien in there if you want. It's just like, it's a sci-fi James Bond, which James Bond kind of became for a lot of his movies, kind of sci-fi if you think about it, but no, it's really easy. But the one mistake I could definitely see them doing is not, like, again, if you're doing Perfect Dark, she needs to be sexy, she needs to have a cool arsenal of weapons, and she needs to be badass. Infiltrate, shoot, destroy, have fun. That should be Perfect Dark. It's very easy. Yeah. You played Fallout New Vegas, you've seen ZeniMax. ZeniMax is a publisher. So, like, ZeniMax is the publishing owner of Bethesda and its studios. So there was Bethesda, and then they were growing, and they realized that they needed a banner. So that's why it's called ZeniMax, as ZeniMax is the parent company to Bethesda. Yeah, I talk in a way that's, like, very readable for the YouTube subtitles, so it's able to use my voice, especially with the delay in streaming, so yeah. Are CODs never coming to Game Pass? CODs may not be coming to Game Pass. They're currently, allegedly, they're currently deciding whether or not to put the CODs on Game Pass. They might not do it. We can't get. They're working on a new Bond game. For 20, is it 25 or 26? I can't remember. The people that make the Hitman game. I think it's 25, isn't it? after March 2025, we should have probably for the fall. There'll be a new hit. Well, the Hitman devs, IO Interactive, they're making Bond. So yeah, I believe at the last investor meeting they did 6 months ago, I think it's still on track for 2025. So there's a new Bond game coming, which is exciting. Well, thanks for another donation there, Liam. That's kind of you. Dust and Elysian Tale. That game kind of pissed me off when I remember reviewing it because it was like a pain to go move around the map and stuff. Uh, yeah, Dust and Elysian Tale. I've been debating that. I got like a few people that asked me to kind of do a video of the 360 stuff, and like I don't know. I've been debating on if I should do it. See, now the problem with the 360 library is that, again, I'm Canadian, right? Like, I'm in Canada. So, like, if I do a 360 video, you can't switch regions for the 360 like you can with the Xbox. So when I do the Xbox sale videos, it takes like a few minutes, but you can very easily switch regions, and I can show you American pricing and what games and stuff are available for American sales. But if I'm to do a 360 video of like, hey, these are the games you should check out before they're gone, it's very likely the games that I have in Canada, due to the, that era, are going to be different than what you can buy in, say, like the US, which is the predominant market for like video stuff we do. So that would be a problem. And then also it's like, like I think it would take a long time to do. It would probably be an hour long or something. Or like, are people even interested in that? I was just kind of like, I don't know. And we're also running out of more and more time for you to like check the video out and buy a 360 game. So I've just been debating it for a while. But I've been really busy. Like, there's a lot releasing. Like, it's a little quieter right now, but there's been a lot I've been working on, and lots of stuff I've been stockpiling for videos, so it's kind of been hard to fit in. So that was the thing, is I don't want people being like, oh, this is going to be a great list of things to buy, and then they're American, and they're just like, oh, this Canadian crap. It's like, it's not the same. Wasn't caught on Game Pass the whole point of the very expensive buy? Yeah! It was when they told the FTC that, and the FTC voted for better consumer rights by having COD on Game Pass was going to be a good consumer benefit. So yeah, Switch 2, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited about it, but I was hoping it would come out this year. Yeah. Your 360 won't turn on? Well, I mean, some of those are like getting up to like 2 decades old. They don't last forever. But yeah, I've got the 360. I use it for filming stuff. I actually filmed a few 360 games that I was having a fun time with. Soul Cal 5, PGR 3, like a Star Wars. There was a few 360 games that I recently, that I haven't done videos for before, that I was recently doing video stuff on to, for future videos. I had a lot of fun playing Soul Cal 5. It was a lot of fun. And I realized I don't own Soul Cal 4, and I'm like, fuck, so now I gotta go find Soul Calibur 4. So yeah, wish me luck on that. Some of these I'm getting down on my list of 360 games to buy, but some of them are just that are really hard to get a hold of. The other thing I should have done is, instead of buying all these 360 and original Xbox games, I should have just bought a newer modded 360 now that I'm thinking of it. I mean, I have a special Xbox, but like I really should have just right off the bat just been like, I'll just buy like a newer modded Xbox that does, the stuff I needed to do, and it would have been a lot easier. But it's been fun too. Like, honestly, I've had fun driving around the city occasionally, or like, on like Facebook Marketplace or another marketplace, being like, oh, that's a game I've been looking for, and go and buy it. Like, I don't waste money on them. I'm not, splurging. But if I see a good deal and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go grab it to do a video and stuff, and that's been fun. So I have enjoyed that. But yeah, it would have been a lot cheaper and easier just to buy like a a more modern modded thing. See, that's the big problem. Is I have a special Xbox, but it's like the OG special Xboxes, which are more special, but like it doesn't have an HDMI port, so I can't record it, which is funny. And I'm like, fuck. It's like it's kind of worthless, but you know, it's cool. Yeah. Why is all the Canadian money monopoly money? I like to think our money is way better in Canada. We have a newer technology where our money doesn't like break and stuff like American money does. Our money like feels cleaner to hold, and you can tell what your money is. Like when I was in America and I had like bills, like when I went to like E3 2015, and like it was a little different then compared to now in regards to like how you buy stuff, like you know credit card usage from Canada. Anyways. So I used cash then, and I was just like, it was so hard to tell what money was what money because it all looks the same. So I think the Canadian money is better, personally. Yeah, I think it's better set up. A new double... Did you not know about the 007 game? We talked about it a lot, Supa. You even listened to what I said? No, but yeah, there's just a new Bond game coming. Should be pretty cool. Especially if you like the Hitman games. It looks... Well, I mean, we don't know what it looks like, but... You know. That's what it's going to be like, I would imagine. Is going to be like Hitman, but with a bit more action to it. I miss the old days, you know, like the original Xbox, PS2, the 360 era. You know, you get like a Bond game like every year. You'd get like multiple sports games of all these different like unique sports. You get all these like weird games all the time. You get a whole trilogy in like 3 or 4 years. I really miss that. I really genuinely miss that era of gaming. And it's like, yeah, some of the games that we have now are like some of the best games we've ever had. They're amazing. They're awesome. They're larger than we ever could have dreamed of. But like, I miss having games out more consistently. It's a real bummer. Yeah, again, talking about those old E3 rewatches where it's just kind of like, you know, they were dropping Halos like bang, bang, bang. And it's... You know, it was 7 years for Halo Infinite to come out. It was a complete dud. It was pretty heartbreaking, you know? Like, yeah, I used to get them every few years, and Halo games were always big, full, and complete. You know, you wait 7 years, and you get a Halo game that's missing half the content, and you're just like, what the hell? Yeah, it's just a bummer. Just a bummer. Yeah. I don't know, I think it showed up on my end, Liam. Thanks for another donation there, going. You're nice. New siphon filter. I don't think that's ever happening. American money can survive the washer. But I'm just saying, like, the money I had when I went to America to, like, you know, use money for, like, E3 and stuff, it was just so ratty and papery, and it would just fall apart, and it's like, we have... Again, I don't know if you've seen or held Canadian money, but it's pretty futuristic and stuff. I guess the best way to kind of call it, but like, yeah. You know, you throw it in the dryer and everything, it's washer dryer, it's absolutely fine. I just remembered the old money we used to have was like American money, where it kind of like was all papery and it would just be garbage, but now it's better quality there. Is this on Game Pass? I don't know, man. Yeah, multi-games on one disc? Yeah, that was a good time too, right? You could buy multi-packs. You guys know about the legendary random-ass combination of Tetris and Star Wars The Clone Wars? The hell was that all about? I can't figure that one out, but yeah, you get that one. Smart fact, the only game that does this, you can get both the original Xbox and the 360 version of these games on the Burger King games, the 3 Burger King games. If you have the 360 version, you also have the Xbox version. It's the same. It's the only disc that does it where one side of the disc runs the 360 version, one side runs the original Xbox version. That's also why it can't be backwards compatible, is because they don't have an indicator to read the numbers to verify that you own said game. Although I don't know why they don't just make the Burger King games freebies on the Xbox. You think it would be fun little marketing for Burger King and Xbox, and it wouldn't cost them really anything other than, you know, distribution stuff, but it'd be like free advertising for laughs, and I really don't get that at all. They do it for 2 Human. 2 Human's free. Burger games are cheap, but apparently in the UK there, was that Thomas? He's struggling to get cheap versions of like Burger King games, and I'm like, they're like everywhere here. I can get them for like $1. You like walk down the street and find a Burger King games. But I couldn't walk down the street and find your likes on the stream, so be sure to like the stream. Subscribe, it's great, donations cool, consider becoming a channel member gift, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, and the Amazon store affiliate link if you're into that. And I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I will be back in just a sec. What do you guys want? Alpaca 2022? You can have Alpaca 2022. I'll be back in a sec. Did you guys like Christmas Alpaca? The Burger King games are double-sided. Yeah, that's how they work. That's how you're able to play the 360 and the original Xbox versions off the same disc. Yeah. So there you go. Now you know. You were surprised when I streamed the Burger King games? Yeah, they had Xbox Live and everything. It was kind of fun. Okay, I gotta turn off the Alpaca thing there. Are they having some server issues tonight on this game? It's a little weird that this keeps happening. Clippy? I wish we had Clippy. Burger King game with a day one patch? Yeah, they should remaster the Burger King games. The only problem, though, is PlayStation has the marketing rights to Burger King. Xbox has Taco Bell now. Sucks to suck. But no, I usually do that. I usually do a Burger King game stream once a year. If you guys have never seen that, it's usually my Christmas video and stream, because I think most people forget about it. But yeah, I guess if you haven't been on the channel, we do stream basically each night around this time. So if you guys, need something to watch or someone to chat with, I'm usually available, I guess, or usually streaming something. We've been doing the COD campaigns, which is fun. But, yeah. Anyways, it was kind of fun having the Burger King games. I think it's like a fun twist. I usually do a new video for the Spider-Man on Series X and Series S each year. And then I do the Burger King games each year. It's just kind of... They're fun little traditional things to do each year, and then obviously in December we pull on the streaming Santa hat. It's always a well responded to thing, which is only like, what, 6 months away again? Fuck. Time flies and I'm getting so old. So old, yep. Really feeling that, feeling that today. Anyways, yeah. Also, I went on the Twitters while I was busy. Someone nuked Phil Spencer's camp in Fallout 76, I guess. Because he's playing Fallout 76 and he nuked his camp. And that's from Sam Snides there. Yeah, so it looks like someone nuked Phil Spencer. So yeah, the community is turning on him. I do wonder what kind of pressure it would actually take to get like a resignation from that guy, if that makes sense. Yeah. Long live the Kinect. I actually really like the Kinect. I won't take any Kinect slander here because I actually love Kinect, and you know what? The Kinect was a scapegoat that was used by Microsoft and Xbox for Xbox One. But the Kinect was an incredible piece of hardware. It was great for the casual audience. It was a lot of fun as a device. I stand by the Kinect. Yeah. So I won't take any of that Kinect slander here. Yeah, anyways, that's what happened though, is Xbox, they got the Taco Bell marketing, and then they lost the Burger King marketing. That literally could be why it's not backwards compatible, is because PlayStation has a Burger King deal. But it's mostly because of the disc. It doesn't have the identifier code that all the other 360 discs have, because it has the original Xbox and the 360 version. There's actually a really good, I think it's like NoClip, does a really good documentary on Burger King games. And I guess like it was the last minute that Microsoft wanted the original Xbox and the 360 version on one disc, and the company was like, the hell? Yeah. It's so funny. They're like, I remember like 2 weeks ago, there was someone was like, I ran into Phil Spencer in Fallout 76. He gave us a thumbs up and everything. And now it's like, we're nuking Phil Spencer in Fallout 76. Oh. Oh yeah, I send something to my friend here. We're partying. Yeah, we have this weird thing where my pal and I that we talk exclusively on the Twitter, but because he does industry stuff too, and we're talking and talking. Whenever someone doesn't reply fast, we say that the other person must have been out partying. So we come up with these lavish kind of like notes of what party we've been to and stuff. It's pretty entertaining. Can you play the Burger King games online on the original Xbox? I don't know. I've never even tried the Burger King games on the original Xbox. I just know they do work on it. There's never really a reason to, right? Yeah. The Kinect was big. Yeah, a lot of people really underestimate and disrespect the portal of Kinect, but they seem to forget that during the 360 era, the Kinect was the #1 fastest selling consumer electronic device of all time. It sold tens of millions of units. The #1 selling 360 game of all time was Kinect Adventures, because it was bundled with the Kinect. It sold over 25 million copies or something like that. There were later Kinect bundles and everything too, right? But yeah, the Kinect was a massive success for Xbox. But they made some, again, we talked about that earlier in the streams, and if you watch my Xbox 720 reveal kind of video that talks about the leaked specs, you know, there was a time where the 360 or this Xbox One was supposed to come bundled with Kinect and be $100 cheaper than the PlayStation 4, which would have been smart. would have been really, really smart, and would have had backwards compatibility, and it just kind of sucks to suck on that, honestly. But no, they totally used the Kinect as a scapegoat, I think, when debundling it, and yeah, it kind of sucked, because I really like Kinect. And obviously, you know, they didn't even, you know, they care about backwards compatibility so much, but I can't use the Kinect on my Series XS. I can't play the games on my Series XS, so I have to keep the useless Xbox One around just in case I ever get the feeling to do some old Kinect play and stuff, and it's kind of dumb. But, you know, it is what it is, right? And as I said, if I ever get my house bought, we will have a whole slew of 360 Connect videos. I'll film a whole bunch of stuff. I'll film a whole bunch of things. We'll have like Connect. We'll do like a Connect Star Wars stream and stuff. It'll be hilarious. Yeah, we'll do Fable the Journey. I've always wanted to play through Fable the Journey, so yeah, we'll do all that stuff. It'll be hilarious. Connect streams, and there'll be a lot of motion control, like when we did the Legend of Zelda Wayward Sword there, or Skyward Sword, and I was doing the motion controls and my arms were sore. Yeah. There's no Hellblade on PS5 rumors? There is from today. I'm so sorry, Bateman, but it's true. It's all of it. You know, like when Han Solo is in that trailer for Star Wars 7 and he's like, it's true, all of it. That's the rumors today, man. Sorry. They have no confidence in Hellblade 2, apparently, Xbox, and they're debating on putting it on PS5 right now, but they don't think that'll help sell it at all. Yeah. Not Fable Journey. I've always wanted to play it. I think it's the only Fable game. Like, I've played the demo of it when it came out. I think there was like a demo you could download for your 360, but like, yeah, I never got it. But I've been buying all these, the old 360 original Xbox games to do videos and stuff, and I got Fable the Journey as like a, as part of a bundled package I bought. So I wanna stream Fable the Journey. It can't be that bad, can it? No, the Xbox One had a great launch set of games, but I think the wording, like the general word of mouth around the Xbox One was so bad, it was just like, it tanked it. But they had an incredible launch lineup for Xbox One. And then it just kind of like withered from there on, eh? That's how she goes. I'm sure I'll be responsible someday for doing, if Xbox hardware does falter out here, I'll do a whole the death of Xbox like docu thing, and I'll cover the whole rise and fall and everything. It'll be fun. Project Milo? I did not play Project Milo. Right. So is he playing Fallout 76 right now? Because it would be actually pretty well. Is he still up at this hour? I don't know. Phil Spencer usually is up at weird hours. I always say it's because he's watching the stream, but that's where he gets all the hot gossip and stuff about Xbox is from the streams each night. That's what I'm here for, guys. It isn't rumors. Yeah, but these are like pretty, you know what I mean? Like these are, yeah. Lionhead, yeah. A lot of people forget, like literally the first thing Phil Spencer did when he took over for Xbox, he closed Lionhead. That was like literally one of the first things he did. They didn't want to make Fable Legends. Although Fable Legends was a very average game, I don't know why they didn't just release it and just make it available and see how it did. Like, I actually kind of had some fun. Someday, I don't know where it is, assuming the data still works on it. I have a video on the channel of it, but it's not very good quality and stuff. But somewhere I have an SD card from E3 2015 where I got footage of Fable Legends. And like I said, I have a video of it up on the channel, but the audio's bad, the visual quality isn't very good. But I have an SD card, I can't find it. A few years ago, when the Xbox came out, I bought like a new TV and everything to, do the 120 hertz and all that. And I found that I had the SD card, but it got like lost in the shuffle of putting my new TV stand up and everything, and I haven't seen that card since. And I've looked, like, there's some days where I actually like kind of look to try to find it, and I don't know where the hell it is. But just randomly, I'm sure one day I'll just be like, oh, there it is, and yeah, we'll have a do Fable Legends video to do. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't amazing, but anyways, as I was saying, they didn't want to do it. They wanted to make Fable 4. It was going to be a Victorian-era Fable game, and the Wolverine was going to be Jack the Ripper and stuff, and it was just like, what the hell? But Fable 3 only doing, what was it, like 10, 11 million sales or something, wasn't enough for Microsoft. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's like, come on. Like, seriously. Yeah, people are finally starting to get stuff going. You're finally on the Discord now? How did I not realize? I mean, I'm kind of like busy in a day. I thought I gave you the thumbs up emote when you joined the Discord, you know? Like, you know, believe it or not, I do a lot of work. Like, the amount of content I put out takes, like, a lot of work and time. And I'm still pretty freaking active on the Discord despite of that, I'd say. Like, what more do you want from me, man? Here, I like Peter Molyneux. I know a lot of people really dislike him, but I liked his... He was always trying to do crazy new concepts and things, and yeah, I miss Peter Molyneux in the industry. He was fun, but people just hate him way too much now, so I don't think he'd be able to do anything. I think there was also a no-clip documentary where they had Peter Molyneux, and he's a lot older, and he just kind of feels... He looks really sad about not doing the gaming stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's kind of depressing, because I was like, this guy probably could have given us decades of, you know, really cool conceptual games and, you know, all kind of hysterical things that he says, but it would have been, you know, better than talent being wasted. I mean, Xbox is imploding today. I also think the game helps too, because Call of Duty to some is more interesting to watch than Gears. Yeah. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Did I finally get some depot stuff? I'm just excited because hopefully, there's no gloom tomorrow, and I can just sit there and play Halo and have a nice night. This is what I'm hoping happens tomorrow. But then again, I didn't expect the... You know, obviously all the news that happened today, I didn't expect that, so... Who knows? Every day is a frickin' spin of the wheel of madness. It's so weird that you can just see what he's doing. He's online, guys. He's on PC. He's watching the stream right now. He comes here for the hot takes. Yeah. Yeah, he's always watching the stream every night. It's the hottest place to be for stuff. How dare I? Gears PvP is awesome. I wanted to do it again tonight, but I was like, I don't think we can get away with it 2 nights in a row. I really like playing Gears of War. It's just not something a lot of people like watching. At least currently. But like, yeah, no, I mean, I love Gears. That's why I bought, you know, an Xbox 360 back in the day. Was like we always play Halo 2. I'd go to my friends. Because everyone had a 360 earlier, right? Like Mitchell, I don't think he had a 360 earlier, but like he had it like the first week because I can't remember what it was, his uncle or something bought the 360, but he was on vacation or something like that, so Mitchell had the 360. And I went there and we were just playing like Dead Rising stuff. It was like, oh my god, but like I'd go to my other pal's house and he had the 360 right away. And all I would want to do is play Halo 2, because, you know, it's backwards compatible, so we just sit there and play Halo 2. And then he'd be like, we're going to play something else, and then we played Gears, and I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on in this, and then he chainsawed me, and I was like, fuck, I gotta buy this, and then, you know, I got the 360 and all that. Lots of fun. Rumors? What rumors have you heard, Bateman? Because I've only heard doom and gloom. Well, I think the issue, Peter Moore is he, like, retired now? Or last I saw, he was doing, like, a football club, which I think you get paid more, and it's more fun. Same with Don Matrick there. He's, I don't know if he's retired, but he's doing, like, more private investor stuff in, I think Vancouver? He's, like, a Canadian dude and stuff, and, you know. He's the only one that I could really think of that could save Xbox. It's a full circle underdog story. Is Don Matrick coming back and shepherding the Xbox into a new generation. He's like, I broke it. It's time for me to fix it. It would be so fucking funny. Like everybody like hates him, but then he comes back and like puts out the greatest like Xbox games ever and fixes, you know, corrects the ship and everything. Be like, he was a madman, but he did it. It's like 3-on-3? What the hell? Where is that guy up above? Is he still up there? Actually, there's one guy on the map on their team that was alive, and I got him. Can't believe this lobby died out. I guess I should find another match, but kind of want to see if I can get the helicopter, you know? You should fire up your 360. You should. It's fun nostalgia. It really is. And there's all these people that keep pushing me to try to go buy that Sonic 06 game, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can spend in good conscience $5 to buy Sonic 06. It's just, it's so bad, that game. I mean, if it was like $2, I'd buy it, but like $5 to buy Sonic 06, I'm just like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I have the will to play that game. There's no reason that one shouldn't be backwards compatible. It's weird that it isn't. I'm just like, I don't have the willpower to get that game. The only thing I have is the willpower to ask you to like the stream, subscribe, and great donations. Cool. Consider becoming a channel member. Channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chatter, and aggressively okay times. There's also an Amazon store affiliate link if you're into that. Wait, I'm only on a 1 kill streak? I thought I was like almost at a helicopter. Did I die or something? Okay, fuck. I'm gonna see if someone else. I'm gonna see if someone else is in another lobby or something that's busier. 3-on-3 is too small for me. I'm too good for 3-on-3. 1 hour ago? Has it been that long? Wow, literally everyone is offline. Is he offline too, or? Yeah. Okay, well that one's not working. Okay, he's playing new COD? Wow, literally none of these people are still in this game. This is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna back out and see if we can find a busier lobby, because that one's like death. But I don't know. Maybe there's other lobbies. Reggie Phil, isn't he at like GameStop? That guy. Aaron Greensburg? Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that that guy is still marketing for Xbox. He's not very good at it. Yeah. The bunny's good. I'm glad the bunny's doing well. Usually Zarcaster asks about the bunny, but Zar's been missing. What happened to Project Mara? Apparently it's still coming. I don't know what that one's going to be. Everwild? They don't even know what Everwild is. Yeah. Well, Gears 5's been doing really good. Or was doing really good, you know, and then it's just kind of like, I mean, it's been years since it came out. Yeah. Yeah, at this point, really, I look at it like Phil Spencer, Zarabond, Aaron Greenberg, and Matt Booty all need to be given the boot. Yeah, seriously. I don't even know who you replace them with, but anyone else should at least have some different ideas on how things are managed. I mean, it's Microsoft. They're the big, like one of the biggest companies in the world, if not the biggest at times. I'm sure they'll be able to find someone else to take over that train wreck. You know what I mean? So I traded 3-on-3 for 4-on-4. All right, that's good for me. Really makes a big difference, those extra 2 players. Yeah, you're playing 3-on-3, it's like Team Tactical. Which I actually like. Team Tactical is really fun. Very competitive, different style of play. But, you know, it's a bit different when you're in here playing like Team Deathmatch. And it's like 3-on-3 is just like empty, meandering nonsense. Our UAV... Oh, god damn it. Our UAV recon is online. And to think I was so excited about the CODs on Game Pass. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm going to be incredibly, it's like, for all the crap I've put up through on covering Xbox over the years, I deserve my big view day from having all this shit on Game Pass. I'm gonna be so mad. Like, if you thought I was salty when I didn't have Starfield early, oh, you ain't seen nothing if these CODs don't drop on the G Pass. I'm gonna tell you that much. I could lose my mind. Don Matrix era, he grew Xbox. They leak stuff. They do leak stuff. Like, a lot of people don't realize that. Is like, Xbox leaks information to people. I was told at one point, though, a year ago, that they were going to try to clamp down on leaks because it's too much. But obviously that never happened. But, like, they do, because... So, like, you know, like, what is it, like, that Jazz guy, he's basically, like, a mouthpiece for Xbox, but, like, you know, you don't... I don't know how to describe it. You don't have good relations with a company unless you have, like, you know, vitally important to them from, like, a marketing standpoint. You know, you don't get to leak the information that some of these leakers leak and still have, like, good relations where you're getting sent, like, consoles to promote or you're getting sent games to cover. Like, you don't have that if you're leaking things. They're not going to want to work with you. Unless you give them the information of, like, you know, who's leaking stuff to you. But then you don't get leaks, right? But yeah, you get, like, blacklisted and stuff if you leak important information. That's just how it works at any company, right? I mean, hell, you should see some of the documents I've had to sign over the years on stuff. It's freaking ridiculous. Got him. Man, I wish some more people would join. Like, allegedly there's more matches being played. Maybe I just got, like, bad luck at the moment. It happens at this hour too, right? Yeah. You're playing Evil West, not a fan, but still playing it? I might as well finish it if you've started it, right? Like I said, that game is incredibly, like, okay. Vacant. No, I still want to talk about Vacant, you're fucking killing me. There's different people that have different tiers of leaks and all that stuff and rumors. But, like, you know, again, rumors are rumors, blah, blah, blah. Who you trust more than others, it's totally fine. I just kind of try to present the information to people as best as I can and, you know, let people make their decisions on how that information is used and stuff. But it's just like, man, Xbox sounds like a freaking mess. As I don't know how many people have been here since the beginning or joined in progress on the stream, but we spent literally 45 minutes straight just going over the dense information that came out today about Xbox, and none of it's positive. 45 minutes. I think that's a new record. Like, we do, like, you know, we stream afterwards and chatter and do talk and feedback, but I don't think we've ever had that long of just straight discussion before. Like, that was ridiculous. Maybe during the Death of Xbox stream, the first one, but, like, seriously, it's really bad. Unlike that thumbnail. My god, that thumbnail, like, it goes hard tonight. I really like yesterday's thumbnail, but, like, today's thumbnail, oh man, I think it goes hard. High emotions. Everything in life is responded to with high emotions. It's almost like humans are emotional beings or something like that. Okay. You know, like, there's bad info, and then that bad info here's worse info, and then just, like, it builds. And the problem with Xbox, just like the first time this happened, they just let it, like, what's the word? They let it simmer. Like, remember when people were losing their mind for, like, a week and a half or something before Xbox did anything? Like, you gotta think we're getting towards the point where Xbox is gonna have to do another one of Phil Spencer's apology tour videos. They're doing another State of Xbox video to try to, like, calm the masses. Like, it's fucking ridiculous that we have to do this. You know, like, I can't go, like, a week without some sort of crazy, negative, wild thing going on about Xbox. I can't think of other companies where you keep having to, like, consistently hear and deal about, like, this stuff constantly. Like, from my perspective, doing content that, it's just annoying. Like, there's always a problem with them. Constantly. The other companies don't have these issues. And it's been like that for, like, well over a decade for Xbox now. It's just tiring. It's exhausting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of it. But there's more news, and you gotta cover the news and talk about it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, they actually, like I showed earlier there at the Aaron Greenberg for marketing, people were, like, dogpiling on that guy so hard about, you know, whether or not Hellblade was getting marketed that he literally had to post another email being like, the marketing starts now for Hellblade. And it's like, he shouldn't have to do that. Shouldn't have to tell anyone you're marketing. We should be able to see that you're marketing. Yeah. Loving the voice. Thanks. I feel tired. Blech. Bring back the Sega Saturn. Gotta bring back the Dreamcast. That's another thing we missed out on. The Xbox could have had Dreamcast support. But Xbox back in the day said no. Yeah, I guess the Sega people, they, like, kind of begged Xbox to make it backwards compatible with Dreamcast, and yeah, I guess they didn't want to support the games or something. I was just like, why? We could have had Dreamcast backwards compatibility too. Kind of a neat concept, though. It'd be neat if the Xbox did, like, what Nintendo has, because, like, the Switch can play. But yeah, the Switch can play, like, Sega Genesis games and stuff too, right? Or at least through the online streaming thing. That would be pretty cool to have on Xbox. Be a library of other console libraries. I'm too excited. I mean, they're in dire straits. We're never getting any of this anyways, but, you know, kind of fun to think about. How reliable are the guys saying COD won't be on Game Pass? Well, again, the discussion right now is Xbox has been sitting there for several months discussing whether or not it should be on Game Pass. But the news, I'd say that one is really reliable. They do obviously make a point of being like, Xbox, they haven't decided yet, but the fact that they need to even talk about it and debate it is crazy, considering, again, that was the whole point of acquiring, and literally part of the acquisition case to the judge was that Game Pass was going to be a consumer-friendly thing, and having COD on it was consumer-friendly. So it's just like, I don't know how the hell they're being allowed to go back on that, but again, like, my sources today are pretty fucking reliable sources. I think I deleted the picture already. Oh no, I got it. The Verge and Bloomberg. So it's basically Schreier there, Jason Schreier. He's the most respected leaker for gaming, and then Warren, which is pretty respected leaker too, who are, you know, actually journalists. So it's yeah, pretty reliable stuff. But they did very clearly say that it's being discussed. It could go either way, but there shouldn't be a discussion at all happening. It should be happening. Yeah. You should decide a lot of stuff before buying a $70 billion studio. You know, like, you think Phil Spencer would have had, like, a plan? Like, I don't know. They had, like, 2 years of acquiring Activision Blizzard for them to kind of, like, map things out a little bit. Like, if I was running Xbox and we were buying a company, like, from the moment I was, like, even the opportunity to buy that company came up, I'd be sitting there, like, writing my plans on how to leverage them, what we're going to do, what benefits we would have from them. Like, I don't even know how you could go and buy a company and not, at least during the long process, come up with ideas of how to use them or understand how to use. Like, it's mind-blowing. The incompetence, honestly, at times. Let's see if there's another lobby. I feel like there's a busy lobby out there. Yeah. As I said, they're like the wacky inflatable arm man Xbox, and they're just flailing around, not knowing what they're doing. It's weird. It's really, really weird. I can't make heads or tails of it. Like, I used to be able to kind of predict what Xbox was doing. And nowadays it's hard. And I thought maybe it was because they were like sly or smart about things, but I don't even think they know what they're doing. It's just sporadic, random decisions. There's no consistency. One day they're throwing all the games on PlayStation, the next they're closing studios, the next they're saying everything's cool. It's just random. I think that's my biggest issue is I can't get a feel for what the hell they're doing. You know, one week they're saying hardware is safe, and then the next they're making decisions where it's like, is it safe? And it's because at the end of the day, I care about playing, you know, the hardware in my library of games. That's what matters to me. Yeah. A business major? Am I a business major? Well, no, but I do understand this business because, you know, it's my industry and I've been covering it and working in it for 9 and trying to do the math on this. 15 years roughly. Yeah, I have a pretty good working understanding of the gaming industry and the business, and I also had to spend a lot of time learning because I had to cover the ridiculously long acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, so I had to learn all kinds of stupid stuff to try and help people keep informed. So now I know all kinds of things about mergers and acquisitions and the values of companies and American legal proceedings. Oh yeah, just stuff I need to know in my day-to-day. No, it was something we talked about literally every day for the entirety of that acquisition. It was literally an everyday discussion, so gotta learn about stuff as they come up, right? Like cars racing on the fucking highway out there? Jesus. Ugh. Bethesda blacklisted him. Yeah, like that guy did a lot of stuff where it was kind of like he's good at what he does, but there are times where it's kind of like I don't know, some stuff shouldn't be leaked, and I don't know. It is fun though, covering like rumors, leaks, seeing how everything turns out. It's kind of entertaining. But you know, he does do quite a bit of really good reporting too on things in the industry. Like some leaks are actually really, really good and important. So, you know, it all depends on perspective and the type of leaks. My knowings of Microsoft, I know everything about Microsoft. I've worked with them for like a long time. Very, very long time. But yeah, they don't seem to have any actual direction or knowledge of what they're doing. And I mean, you can just clearly see that in the choices they're making and their handling of things. I also did do a crash course through the Minecraft content creators thing where I got taught by their Xbox social media about how they run social media and stuff. They lean into things, but they don't always lean into the right things. Yeah. Timed out by a Skybot. You gotta behave or Skybot will slap you down. It does that sometimes. Well, that match kind of sucks. Yeah, I was taught from the Xbox marketing PR thing. This is like when something happens, they like lean into it because it builds higher news stuff for you, and you don't want to like kind of go out of it, but like you need to if it's really, really negative and bad. And yeah, I don't know. There's a whole crash course I took. Ugh. No, I think it would be hilarious if Phil Spencer like came out on stage wearing a PlayStation shirt and just trolled us, or he was like, "Haha, I've been working with them the whole time." I'd be like, "What?" Yeah. Anyways, guys, you should probably like this stream. You know, that'd probably be a pretty good idea. Subscribing's great, donations cool. Consider becoming channel member. Channel member gifted, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chatter, and great times. It's also an Amazon Starfield link if you're into that kind of thing. Alright, let's do this. Shipment, guys. It's gonna be epic. Although it would be a little bit more epic if we were playing on headquarters. I hate just playing team deathmatch. Hate it. PlayStation, yeah, PlayStation. They've actually done a really good job of securing some like third-party exclusives to fill up their kind of sparse lineup this year. You know, like Stellar Blade was stellar, and Rise of the Ronin was kind of cool. I wish Rise of the Ronin was more popular on the channel, though. I would have liked to stream more of that one. But I guess the numbers were pretty good for it. It was beating Nioa sales, so yeah. Believe it or not, at the end of the day, I want to see, you know, every game that can succeed, and it's a healthy gaming industry. It is a better gaming industry for me to cover stuff in. Because then there's more opportunities for me in that too, right? A bad gaming industry is not good. Especially when I tend to cover a lot of Xbox, Microsoft stuff. When they're doing bad, it's not good for me. Not good for me. No, it is wild though, like seeing, because you know, like over the years, like Xbox has had very, very die-hard fans. But even at this point, I don't see that many of them are still like supportive of Xbox. It's been quite a change up. I think it was Stu, yeah, whoever said I should have the 3 grenades as like a perk. Genius. Because my class was always set up to play like headquarters and stuff with like claymores, and then obviously nowadays we only get to play team deathmatch. And I was hoping for a resurgence of this on Game Pass, but if that doesn't happen, pissed. It's actually been really fun. I mentioned this yesterday's stream too. I've been getting in some matches of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition multiplayer. I did a video of it today as well. It's really quite enjoyable. You know, it's worth downloading and playing a few matches just to see how you like it and stuff. Especially since there's quite a few people playing it right now. Yeah, there's lots of diehard Xbox fans out there. There really is, but it's like, yeah, there's a lot of negativity from like the hardcore ones. A lot of them just abandoned Xbox too. See guys, I'm still here covering stuff. Overkill, kill-tacular, killing spree, kill-trocity. Helicopter not available? Aww. I didn't get to use my helicopter. That sucks. Yeah, no, that Final Fantasy didn't sell very well. These console warriors, it may come as a shock, dude, but I think a lot of people here think you're a pretty intense console warrior. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. There we go. Kind of want a different map. I feel like we've been playing kind of the same maps. Like over and over again. Bum 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 bum. And once more, just to pat myself on the back, that thumbnail goes so hard tonight on the stream. think it looks so good. Like every now and then I get a good thumbnail and I'm just like, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So proud of that. I was just like, this looks good. I know. Just exhausted. Underrated channel? I think so. Lots of people tell me that, but then, you know, I stay pretty underrated. It is what it is. But, you know, I do appreciate when people check out the content and stuff like that. It's always nice. It's like, you guys should definitely check out that Fallout 4 interview that no one watched today. Yeah, it's really good. It really, really is. So, yeah, if you have a moment, give that a look. That makes it easier to get other interviews. If the interviews don't do well, I don't get more interviews. Which is sad, especially considering how much fucking work it is to do those interviews, and it's like, you don't get views, you're just like... That's what I'm saying, is like, sometimes people are like, oh, you know, you could have done more editing here, or more change this for videos, and I'm just like, that's not worth it. It's only certain ones that do really, really good. You could spend like 9 billion hours editing a video, it's not necessarily going to get you more views than a quick one. Seriously. Ow. 4 on 3? Man, this game's deader than usual tonight. I don't like that at all. Usually, you know, we can get like a full kind of night of this going, and it's like pretty quiet on this one. Anyways, let's get going. I didn't even level much. That's the other problem too, is playing this game and just doing like team deathmatch is like, you don't get much XP. I'm gonna see if I can find a different lobby. Oh, it's host. I'm the host. Huh, that's funny. Let the games speak for themselves, but they don't let the games speak for themselves. Xbox doesn't release any games, you know? Like, that's the issue. They don't get the games out the door. And when they do, they don't market them. Yeah. Is Switch 2 coming this year? I don't know if you'll see it this year. It's getting announced this year, though. Is that like the only lobby? This is 4 potential games found. And it just puts me with this one person. Let's see if there's like another lobby of people somewhere out there. Why is it showing me people from an hour ago? Is there something wrong with the Xbox servers? Because like it should be showing me more recently played with people than from an hour ago. This is the same people I was playing with all night. That's very odd. Sarcaster's just probably busy. Xbox game showcase. Well, like I said, we do a stream, like a little mini stream each year, talking about like what to expect at the Xbox showcase, and that should be next week. So, kind of saving everything for that. But yeah, there's some stuff to look forward to. You wait that long, and then you put me in a lobby like 1 or 2 people. This is weird. Usually we can play this the whole night. This is so odd. Like, is there a lobby and I just can't join it because it's like full? It's kind of bumming me out. Because there's like lots of like weird lobbies with like 1 person in it, when we could have like a lobby with like a few people together. Person has not been on it 25 days. Well, how did I run into them while I was playing? Is this a dead game? Is this a dead game? I can't find anybody. Yeah. Several games this year? I don't know, man. Finding the best game, and there's like... you know what? Maybe there's like a full lobby out there. I'm just not getting lucky and getting into it. Because it says there's 5 potential games found. And then there's just 1 that just puts me in the same thing. Yeah, 4 potential games. Oh, there we go. I knew it. So there's like one lobby that's like full. And I just couldn't get into it. I don't want to play on District again. Yeah. Here we go. Finally found another match. It does this sometimes. District. Okay. We're dealing with District. Let's do it. Bum 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 bum. Full match, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do this. I think just the sad thing, though, for Redfall is that there's not an offline mode that's ever going to be added to that game, so eventually it'll just go and vanish into the ether. Because there's already, like, no one playing it, so no point in keeping the servers up. And without that last update that makes it go offline, it just vanishes away forever. Not that it's really a game that should have existed, but I don't like the idea of a game vanishing that could perfectly be enjoyed offline, if you know what I mean. Will we have to do a farewell Redfall stream someday? Oh no. I sure hope not. Maybe it'll just be one of those stealth listings that'll just like vanish. I'm sure 10 years from now we can talk about like a video and do like the disaster of the Series XS or something. Or more like maybe like the tragedy of the Xbox Series XS. That would be fun. The tragedy of it. Let's take these guys out. Our UAV recon is online. Dun 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 dun. I love the sounds in this game. I've all heard them like a billion times from playing this over the years. Why are these guys all band together like that? It's not Band of Brothers. That's what kind of we should have done too, was the big red one. We kind of just skipped that. I'm kind of hesitant on doing more of the COD campaign streams because we didn't have enough people checking them out, which was sad. What am I drinking today? I just have water now. Yeah. I just have water. I was drinking earlier though. I had a pineapple mango Empress gin combination drink. It was great. Had it yesterday too. It was really enjoyable. Tomorrow I'll probably go back on the... Maybe I'll do a wine night tomorrow, actually. It's a little bit of a selly night. Maybe I'll bring out some nice wine. Yeah, I might do wine. A little bit of Halo and wine I think would be kind of a lovely time. Yeah. Ah, damn it. I should really get back on the Coke Zero and rum, though, because, you know, you don't get calories from it, so... The Coke Zero, it helps so much on your caloric intake. Alright, let's roll. But yeah, I'm hoping for a calm tomorrow. No more bad Xbox rumors. And then we can enjoy the magic of the COD XP weekend. We're so close to finishing that battle pass. We're just like 30 tiers away. And we can do like 10 a stream depending on if we have people joining our party, so it should be pretty exciting. A gin and tonic night. I always felt like tonic was a bit weird. Like the tonic is like a taste of nothing and then a taste of death was always what I thought of gin and tonic. I always mix my gin with like the gin and juice basically. But yeah, I don't usually do tonic. Strangely, it was my sister that's really into the gin and tonic, and I was just always like, it's weird. You'd let me try some, and it'd be like, there wouldn't be a taste to it, and then you'd have just like a taste of death at the end. It was so bizarre. A drunk stream? I don't know, man. Sloppy drinking streams, not great for YouTube. You never know when that happens, though. I mean, the PS5 actually sold below expectations. What did they miss the mark? They missed their mark by like 4 or 5 million consoles. They're struggling at PlayStation as well. Xbox is just struggling like catastrophically worse. You know you're doing bad when the Xbox One is outselling you. There's more gamers now too. This is just like you know, the economy, console market, blah 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 blah. You know how it is. Yeah. Anyways, a wine stream. I think, yeah, as long as I'm not like in a hurry tomorrow, which I don't see a reason why I'd be in a hurry. Yeah, I should be doing a wine night. I could forget too. That happens. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and then I forget about it. It happens. Yeah. Vodka is needed. Vodka is pretty low on my drinking pecking order. I don't mind vodka, but it's not something I would pick over like other alcoholic options. I find it kind of bland. You know, it doesn't have the fun that tequila has. It doesn't have the classiness that gin has. It doesn't have the smooth lifestyle that rum provides. It's not elegant like wine. Like it's, you know, and it's not like cozy as beer is, or, you know, some kind of like mold or something. It's, yeah, vodka's just kind of like, eh. I don't hate it, but I don't go out of my way to drink it. Yeah. Usually I keep like a cheap bottle around in case I need to mix it or something, but eh. Damn it. Hello there. PS2 sales have a lot to do with a DVD player? I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can count some of the successes of being that true, but, you know, again, it's still the #1 console, and they said, what, it had 160 million now? They mentioned overall, so, you know, beating the Switch, and the Switch was like the hottest hot of hot consoles, and it can't even beat the PS2, which was like 2 decades ago. Doesn't bode well for console gaming. No siree. No siree. I think there's just a certain point where you gotta accept that consoles aren't gonna be around forever. Or if they are around forever, they are radically different than they are now, or radically less played than they are now. So that was my big thing, is I was expecting the Series XS to sell very well this gen. I had all these videos set up for all the different games running on it, and people didn't buy the console. So it impacts what I can potentially get for views and stuff, and it sucks. I did my work. Ah, damn it. Oh, someone else got him. That's good. Can't believe the match is this close. I'm like up like 9 kills. Close to 9. Much rather be playing like headquarters though. I hate that you never get objective matches in this. I think it's the odd domination. Captain Morgan's okay, but it's Kraken is where it's at. Vodka Cran, oh, that one's okay. Gotta get the Long Island iced tea. Been going to this one place for like pizza nights sometimes, like the cheaper Monday pizzas. And I usually pair it with a Long Island because I've been enjoying that there. Kind of sucks though. I used to go on off nights at that place, and I'd get my clubhouse sandwich, and I haven't done that in probably a year or so. But that's because the business has gotten so downhill there. I've noticed that like the quality of like places and stuff seems down and down. It's terrible. This whole situation around Xbox is terrible too, but you know, there's not much you can do about it, You just keep dealing with it and keep on playing games. That's something I need to do, is another alcoholic float. I haven't done that in a long time. You go and you buy some vanilla or creamsicle ice cream, and then you do an alcoholic float. They're really good. A Moscow Mule. I can't handle all of the salt of the Moscow Mule. Yeah, I can't. I've tried it quite a few times, and it's too salty for me. Yeah, I've tried a few different places for Moscow Mules, and it's just never works for me. No, Evan's on the Fallout 4 on PC. Ah, interesting. What that dude's up to these days. Yeah, people, they just don't play the consoles anymore. I've noticed that. I mean, my pals barely touch these things. Sad, 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 but that's life. A lot of them have other responsibilities. Okay. Let's do Vacant, because we haven't had Vacant at all tonight, which is a bit of a shame. Wow, my phone battery is like so low. I feel like my battery life just isn't what it used to be on my phone. It's not even really that old, but you know, the phones don't last forever. And again, I want to talk about how nice I got these new SecretLab like soft foam armrests, and they are so nice. I feel like this material is just gonna like wear right off of these though. I don't know, we'll see, but it is very comfy. I was a little worried because like they're not like grippy like the old ones are, but they're kind of like a couch cushion sort of thing, like a soft foam stuff. I know, right? Is there not a full lobby of this? Did I miss everybody? Oh no, they're just loading it. Okay, good. Oh, it's only 3-on-3? Well, that's not what I was hoping for. Alright. Yeah, seriously, I thought there was like a full lobby of this, and there's only 3-on-3 here. What the hell happened? Oh no, people are loading. Okay, maybe just some slow loaders. Damn it. Oh, that didn't go very well. But I always like this map because it's got such a weird flow to it. It was especially good for headquarters, and search and destroy was very interesting on this map. Very competitive middle lane area. I actually think it lends itself pretty well to the modern CODs whenever it gets remade and remastered too. Damn it. So we got through another day of Xbox doom and gloom. Hoping for big positive news tomorrow. That was a very good grenade that guy threw, because I couldn't really run to the left to get cover. Threw me out into the middle to die. People often don't use grenades in video games effectively, because you can really use them to push people out of cover and into the open. Or just kill them, yeah. That's what always pissed me off about the trophy systems when they introduced those to the COD, is they took away the valuable asset of a grenade. Oh, there is a guy over here. I'll just pop a grenade. But I do pretty good at this still, but I'd do even better if we were doing objective playlists. As deathmatch, I feel like I wander. Not focused on like doing something. 50 million is no slouch. I mean, you know, I didn't set the sales expectations, PlayStation did, and if they're not hitting their own sales expectations, that's not good. It's better than their competition, but it's not what they were hoping to do, or what they were expecting to do. In business, it's always about exceeding, or at least matching, your expectations. When you're hitting below, because you gotta remember too, PlayStation, they did aggressive sales with the PS5. in order to bring those numbers up, and they still weren't hitting their targets. Because they're trying to create a large install base so they can, you know, get better deals, make lots of money, and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, they had to do lots of cuts to hit that 50 million still, and they didn't hit what they were wanting. Metrics and context matters. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I was hoping there'd be more players in this lobby. We can't catch a break with this game tonight. Yeah, people keep like bailing in the lobbies, jumping to other lobbies. It's hard to keep a full match going, eh? I really need to set up a second class. One that's got like a bit of a medium range thing. I love the MP5, it's great, but like some of these maps you just get outcompeted on because you don't have the distance shot, like the aiming for distance. Switching to your sidearm is always faster than reloading. Yeah. What competition? Yeah, no, but it is competition. They do compete in the same space. The high-end console market has carved out by PlayStation during the Activision Blizzard's acquisition situation.
Enemy helicopter inbound.
Try this MP or P90 out. They didn't even put a scope on this. It doesn't need a scope, but usually pretty, you know, usually you pair it with a red dot. Oh, come on, I was out of the room before that grenade snapped off. Ow. I think we're dying. Good luck. Good luck to you as well, man. PCs? I'm pretty sure PCs and the desire to have hardware will be around for a very long time. Because even if you're not using a PC just for gaming, it exists for work, so I can't see that changing anytime soon. Yeah, there's... We're not even close to the point where a cloud setup could replace a desktop experience for, like, many jobs, climates, regions, or anything like that. So yeah, not anytime soon. PC hardware will be here for a very, very long time. If not indefinitely, because it's always a fallback thing. Ah, damn it. I do ponder, though, if PlayStation will throw me a Pro this year or not. Kind of wondering if I'm in their favor enough to get that sort of thing. A chip in the brain? Yeah, this guy's crazy. Damn. Yep.
Our UAV is online.
It is always fun playing this. I always enjoy going back and, you know, doing some Modern Warfare. There's just something truly special about Call of Duty 4. There really was. I don't know how to describe it, but this entry in the series just hit right. Damn it.
We've taken the lead. Enemy UAV is airborne.
Damn. Oh, Vaylander. This is kind of nice to chill back, though. Especially after the intensive talk. It's a lot harder on the vocals to have to do more chatter on the stream, if that makes sense. Because usually these streams require a bit more, like, talk. In other streams I talk, but I don't continuously have to talk for long bursts.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
Believe it or not, it's really hard on the vocal cords. How do we lose the lead? I'm plus 10. Oh, now the lobby's like filling out with people? So we started losing as soon as other people joined? You gotta be kidding me. Are you for real? Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Busted my ass off for this lead. Okay, so they need 2 to win. 1 to win. Oh, there we go, that's it. Anyways, guys, I think that's good for tonight. I had fun talking about the doom and the gloom. Hopefully the doom and the gloom doesn't continue tomorrow, and I can have a nice, relaxing Halo MCC stream. And then we'll be back on Modern Con for the weekend for a Game Pass. Not for Game Pass. For double XP. And, again, check out the Nick Valentine interview if you haven't. It's really good. It's very well put together. He voices tons of other characters from Bethesda games. That's all. Have a good one, folks.